And you're welcome to the Orchard Park in Elsin for the replay of the 1992 county final. The Strokestown team are already on the field. The band have just ended. Strokestown have appeared on the team first. In the drawn match, it was Roscommon Gaels' opportunity to enter the field first. There doesn't appear to be any changes on the Strokestown team except the ones laid out in the programme. The word from the Gaels camp is that Paul Owens has been dropped, Kieran Heenahan has been brought back to right corner back, and Tom Lyons, number 17, has been brought in left half back. We'll confirm those changes when the team takes the field. As I said, the Strokestown team are out and limbering up. Now the Gaels have arrived. The Gaels taken the upper side of the pitch to practice. The Strokestown team taking the end next Strokestown. The pressure must surely be on both teams now to wrest the 1992 championship. The drawn game was a mixture of all that is good in Gaelic football. The Strokestown side got off to a dreadful start, 1-5 down after 15 minutes. Strokestown brought them back, clawed their way back into the game, playing some delightful football in the process, and the match ended all square. Molly Comiskey, associated with the Strokestown team for more than 30 years, gone down to watch her charges, has watched the jerseys for many teams, hoping that the Strokestown team will be successful today, even though her grandson is associated with the Gaels team, and her son-in-law Mick Orr has played with the Gaels for many years, and her son also played with the Gaels in the 70s. Tom Kennoy, County Chairman, distinctive white hair. Stephen Bannahan, County Assistant Secretary, with him. No doubt surveying the crowd and adding up the profits for the county board for this year. The crowd piling in now. A massive crowd expected, especially from the south of the county, because the Westmeath County Championship final was on a fortnight ago, and that took some of the crowd from the south of the county. So it's expected that a lot of the Clonagale, Bridget's, Pearse's contingent will be in Elfin today.
Number 2, Tommy Cox. Number 3, Damien Donlan, captain. Number 4, Leo Shield. Number 5, Colm Dowd. Number 6, Owen Donlan. Number 7, Damien Owens. Number 8, Martin Fallon. Number 9, Rona McPhillips. Number 10, Michael Donlan. Number 11, John Towie. Number 12, Martin McDermott. Number 13, Luke Dolan. Number 14, Tom Corcoran. And number 15, Marcus Handley. The Roscommon Gaels team. In goals, Chris Grogan. Number 2, Paul Owens, will not play. He's replaced by number 17, Tom Lyons. Number 3, James Lyons. Number 4, David Hoare. Number 5, Declan Duke. Number 6, Porrick Cooking, captain. Number 7, Kieran Heenahan. Number 8, David Keys. Number 9, Johnny Dowd. Number 10, Fergal O'Donnell. Number 11, Porrick Oates. Number 12, Ross Shannon. number 13, Aidan Heenan, number 14, Benji Penny, number 15, Kevin McStay.
Mickey Menton in your picture now, going towards the sideline. Roscommon Gaels team manager. Teams lining up for the photographs. Kevin McStay there on the left speaking to Mickey Menton.
Once again, there's a shop serving refreshment situated directly inside the main gate.
Cahill Hunt at the back
Ladies' toilet directly
with a tracksuit top.
With the gents' toilet immediately to its left.
Was brought in the drawn match.
Down beside the tennis court.
He's a sub again today. No doubt will be called in at some stage if the Gaels feel that he's needed. Scored the equalising point in the last game. Experienced player.
We would like to take this opportunity to thank our sponsors whose advertising you see around the pitch. We would ask patrons to support these businesses as they bring in much needed revenue.
Players kicking about. Colin Dowd, number 5, has been brought into the team for today. That's Tom Corcoran, the far side. Luke Dolan, number 13. Donald Hanley, centre of the picture. Roscommon Strokestown goalkeeper. Splendid save in the drawn match. No doubt Strokestown will be looking towards them today to pull out much the same form. John Towie, Martin McDermott in the foreground of your picture. Splendid game in the Northern final against Elfen. Quieter game in the drawn match, but nevertheless an influential member of the Strokestown team. Captains now in the centre of the field. Damien Donlan for Strokestown and Pádraig Cookean for Roscommon Gaels. Referee Sean Mullaney. Damien Donlan, the captain, and a very influential member of the Strokestown team. Had a powerful game in the drawn match, especially when he's moved out centre half back. Strokestown will again be looking towards him to produce much the same form. And in the commentary box as well we have Joe McAvoy, who won a county championship medal with Kilmore in 1983, and Joe will be called on to comment on the match as the game progresses. The teams lining up for the parade behind the band, and all is nearly in readiness for the replay of the 1992 Roscommon County Senior Final.
Hold on there, 5%. Huh? Joe, hold the telly there, Joe.
Tom Kennoy has given the go-ahead for the band to start, and the parade is on. You're right. Okay, Joe, what's it like being in the dressing room before a county final?
Well, the day I was in it, I was injured. I wasn't on the starting 15, but it's a great feeling to be able to go out there and looking forward to giving it your best for your club, and having such a good crowd behind you. You give it your best. So I'd say the Strokestown and Roscommon Gaels lads know that a bit of pressure on them today to live up to the standards of the drawing game, but with conditions as good as they are, and that I think we're in for another thrilling final.
What about nerves, Joe? You've been through all that.
The nerves are there, but when you get out in the field and get your first grab of the ball there, that's all goes, and after that it's hopefully plain sailing. But the nerves are there for a while, but when you're there for a few years, that they'll go.
On the strength of what you saw in the drawn game, who do you tip to win?
Well, as I said in the interview after the last game to yourself, Pat, there on the performances in the last half, the Strokestown, I would have to favour Strokestown, but it's a completely new game today, and a bit stronger a wind and that, and so it'll be very, very close at the end, and hopefully Strokestown by not more than 2 points.
Thanks, Joe, and we'll come back to it during the game. The band coming over towards the stand now on their final lap. Both teams huddled in the centre of the field. A crucial time for the last pep talk from both sides. Strokestown having contested in recent times the 88 county final, the 91 county final, and of course this year's, would have the edge in experience. Many of those players were involved in all 3 games. Right, the ball is thrown in and the 1990 replay is on. First in possession is Martin Follen for Strokestown. Martin Follen gets the ball up the field. Tom Lyons gets possession. The ball is out over the sideline, and the linesman is given a sideline ball to Strokestown, and Martin McDermott is to take it. Strokestown first into the attack. The ball is kicked in inside, but Tom Corcoran is unable to keep it in play, and the first attack of the game by Strokestown has ended in a Strokestown wide. Roscommon Gaels playing with a fairly stiff breeze, and also playing into what we call the lower goals, the town side goals. Chris Grogan to kick the ball out. Kicks the ball out in the centre of the field. It's dropping towards Michael Donlan gets possession, the melee. Michael Donlan is fouled by David Keys, and he gives the ball to Ronan McPhillips. Ronan McPhillips turns, the ball is Pádraig Cookie and gets the ball away from him. Michael Donlan gets the ball, David Keys grabs it, and it's It's free to Roscommon Gaels. David Keels kicks it back down, but Damien Owens reads the ball well, gets out in front of Aidan Heenahan, and Damien Owens is fouled, and there's a free to Roscommon Gaels. On this occasion, Martin McDermott commits a free, and the Roscommon Gaels left corner back David Hoare kicks it down the field into Ross Shannon. Ross Shannon to Johnny Dowd. Johnny Dowd carrying the ball inside. He's given it inside to the full forward Benji Penny. Benji Penny kicks it, and by Aidan Heenan, I think, and the ball goes to the left and goes wide. The first Roscommon Gaels attack ends in a wide from Aidan Heenahan. Donald Hanley with the kick out. Donald kicked out in the centre. Ronan McPhillips jumps, breaks it down for Owen Donnellan. Owen Donnellan gets the ball up into the centre. Marcus Hanley is jumping with Colm Heenahan. Colm Heenahan wins the ball, kicks it across. Leo Shield is coming out with Kevin McStay. Martin Follen gets it up into his hands. He's tackled by two Gaels players. He's on the ground. He's up again, and he gets the free. Kicks the ball quickly. Tom Corcoran comes out to get it, gives it to Martin McDermott. Martin McDermott shimmies, gives it across to Michael Donlan. Michael Donlan has Ron McPhillips on the overlap. He's carrying it into the centre. Michael Donlan kicks, and it's caught by Chris Grogan in the Roscommon Gaels goals. And it's a bad clearance, and Tom Corcoran gets it inside to John Towie. Chris Grogan catches it very well over his head and gets it outside to Declan O'Donnell. Declan O'Donnell is being shadowed by Damien Donlan. Damien Donlan is still with him, and he is adjudged to have over-carried the ball, and great tackling by Damien Donlan. And there's a free to Strokestown, which Luke Dolan is coming out to take. Luke Dolan takes it quickly to John Towie. John Towie gives it inside to him. Luke Dolan gets it back. Luke Dolan kicks it, and it's a splendid point from Luke Dolan to put Strokestown a point up and first score of the game after 4 minutes of play. Joe, a good start for Strokestown.
Yeah, there was a few misses there before from John Towie and Michael into the goalie's hands, but that should settle them now, and hopefully they'll build on that point.
And surely it will indeed settle Strokestown, having got off to such a very bad start in the drawn match. An early score is what they badly needed, and they've got that now after 4 minutes of play. The kick out by Chris Grogan, and the referee's attention has been called to something at the end of the field. He's gone down to speak to Damien Owens and Aidan Heenahan. He has spoken to both players, and he's now come back into the centre of the field, and he has signalled that the kick out can take place. Chris Grogan with the kick out. Comes out towards the stand side, jumps between John Towie, and Towie loses it. Owen Donnellan catches cleanly, puts it outside to Martin Follen. Martin Follen has to race forward. He loses it. He gets it back, and he's still pursuing it, and he pushes it inside to Tom Cox. Tom Cox gathers it. Tom Cox bursting out with the ball, turns brilliantly and gets it out across into the centre of the field, but Barry Cookie misses it, and it comes to Michael Donlan. Michael Donlan puts it inside to John Towie. John Towie has space. He's carrying the ball. He gives it into Marcus Hanley. Marcus Hanley trying to turn his man. Kicks it inside. A brilliant ball to Michael Donlan. Michael Donlan is clear. Michael Donlan kicks, and Michael Donlan puts it over the bar. Great ball from Marcus Hanley inside, and Michael Donlan outpaced the defence. Brought it over to the left-hand side. Almost got the angle wrong, but still steered the ball over the bar. A splendid point for Strokestown. 2 points to no score in favour of Strokestown, with almost 6 minutes gone. Kicked out again in the centre by Chris Grogan. David Keys jumps, misses it. Comes to Martin Follen. Martin Follen inside, gives it to Tom Corcoran. Tom Corcoran isn't expecting it, recovers well, gives it inside to John Towie. John Towie is pushed in the back by Declan Duke, and there's a free in to Strokestown, which Luke Dolan will take. Luke Dolan, having been very accurate with free kicks from all through the campaign, puts it in. It's gone to the right. It's caught by and dropped by Chris Grogan, and it goes outside for a 50. So a 50, or in modern terms a 45, being granted to Strokestown, and Luke Dolan is the kicker again. Roscommon Gaels have been definitely slow to settle, and the play has to a large extent been dominated by Strokestown. This is within Luke Dolan's range. Again, the short run up to the kick. Kicks it. It's an inside. It's dropping high, and it's dropping over the bar. And now Strokestown are 3 points up to no reply from Roscommon Gaels. Show a good start for Strokestown.
Yeah, that's the last few minutes now. They're completely dominating there around the middle. Roscommon Gaels breaking the ball around the middle there, and Martin Fallon's picking it up, and John Towhey is running well off the ball, and especially again the win now. It's great to be 3 points up.
Kick out again by Chris Grogan. Kicks it out in the centre. Comes between John Towhey and David Hoare. Barcookian trying to push it on back. He pushes it on back to Tom Lyons. To Colin Heenahan, and it's a line ball for Strokestown. Michael Donlan to take. Michael Donlan kicks it on the 50-yard line, drops it in high. It's dropping to Martin McDermott. John Towhey wins the race for the broken ball, and he's fouled on the ground, and Sean Mullaney awards a free into Strokestown. And it's on the left-hand side, which is the side from which John Towhey himself kicks the place ball, and indeed it is John Towhey to take the kick. Towhey running up to kick it, kicks and puts it over the bar, and Strokestown are now 4 points ahead, firing on all cylinders, and Gaels have yet to raise a flag. 9 minutes gone, and it definitely is the opposite of what happened in the drawn game when the Gaels got off to a very good start. It's now the turn of Strokestown in the replay to get off to a flying start. Almost 10 minutes gone. Chris Grogan kicks out again, another high kick into the centre. It's broken down from Porricookian by John Towhey. It's down the centre, comes to Aidan Heenahan. Fergal O'Donnell carrying the ball inside. Fergal O'Donnell kicks it over the bar. Fergal O'Donnell, having got the broken ball from Damien Owens, carried the ball down the right hand side and kicked a good point to open the Gaels' account. Donald Hanley kicking the ball out to the centre again. Martin Fallon jumps with Johnny Dowd. It's taken by Declan Duke. Declan Duke kicks it off to the right hand side. Damien Owens slips. Aidan Heenan gets away from Aidan Heenan in possession now, trying to turn, trying to get round Damien Owens. Ball's kicked into the centre. That's a great point by Aidan Heenan from a very narrow angle. The Roscommon Gaels are 2 points now, but still 2 points adrift, with Strokestown at 4 points. Gaels are coming back into the match, Joe.
Two great scores for Roscommon Gaels now, and I'd say we're really in for knuckle-and-tuckle battle here now, because Roscommon Gaels have settled and there's 2 good scores. I hope Damien Owens sticks tighter there, because that man Heenan seems to be on song there in the corner.
And again it's Declan O'Donnell gets the ball, gets it into Benji Penny. Benji Penny is fouled by Michael Donlan, and Benji Penny is looks like he's going to take the free himself. Certain laxity in the Strokestown defence, which will be punished if they don't tighten up. And it's Aidan Heenahan with the kick. Aidan, a left-footed kicker. from about 30 metres out. Kicks and puts it over the bar. And there's Gaels are only a point adrift now. Strokestown 4 points. Roscommon Gaels 3. Donald Hanley settling the ball for the kick out again. And in the last few minutes, the initiative has slipped from Strokestown somewhat. Ball being kicked down the centre of the field. Martin Fallon jumps. It's gathered by Owen Donlan. Owen Donlan pumps it up the centre. Luke Dolan is being held. And there's a free in for Strokestown. And James Lyons, unable to prevent Luke Dolan from gathering the ball, held him in the process, and Sean Mullaney has awarded a free in to Strokestown. And this free kick is almost exactly from the position where Luke Dolan scored the 45. It's on the 45 metre line just 3 minutes ago. Luke Dolan kicks, comes inside, is caught by Chris Grogan, doesn't have the length on this occasion. James Lyons gathers the clearance, and Michael Donlan fouls James Lyons, spoken to by Sean Mullaney. And there's a free out for Strokestown, or for Roscommon Gaels, to be taken by Chris Grogan. Chris Grogan run up to take the kick. Kicks it, comes over to the stand side. David Keys catches cleanly. Behind the ball, being shadowed by John Towie, and John Towie blocks his kick. Unfortunately for John Towie, the ball goes out over the sideline, but a very important block for John Towie. And there's a line ball for Roscommon Gaels, being taken by Fergal O'Donnell. Fergal O'Donnell kicks it into the centre. And the ball bypasses both Kevin McStay and Ross Shannon and goes out over the end line and wide. The Strokestown supporters on the other side of the field trying to get a Strokestown chant up. Donald Hanley with the kick out. Kicks it out, it comes towards the stand side on the right. Martin McDermott is jumping with David Keys. David Keys tries to break it down. Damien Donnan goes down, tries to gather the ball. Falls. Martin McDermott gets possession. He is pulled. His jersey is pulled. Michael Donlan and Pádraig Cookian. David Hoare gets Declan Duke gets the ball now, and he's sends it right down the centre. Damien Owens jumps, gets it at the second attempt, gives it out to Damien Donlan. Damien Donlan is trying to get around Aidan Heenahan or Kevin McStay, and the Roscommon Gaels crowd are not happy with that. The ball is kicked into the centre, but Declan Duke gathers. Declan Duke having a good game, and a great catch by Owen Donlan. Owen Donlan sends it inside to Michael Donlan. Michael Donlan with space, being taken it in the centre. Kicks it too low, and Chris Grogan gathers and gets it outside to Pádraig Oates. Pádraig Oates getting it downside side to Ross Shannon. Ross Shannon trying to work the ball inside. He's being tackled by Martin Fallon. Martin Fallon gets the ball away from him on the ground. There's no support for Fallon. Fallon is still battling on with Pádraig Oates. Pádraig Oates, James Lyons is trying to get it away, and it's come to Tom Lyons. Tom Lyons has space. Soloed the ball down the field. Gives it inside to Pádraig Cookian. Pádraig Cookian is taking it down. He's being followed by John Towie. Gives it inside to Kevin McStay, and it's taken by Benji Penny by Tom Cox. Great play by Tom Cox. Corcoran gives it to Michael Donlan. Michael Donlan has space. He's running into the centre, and Michael Donlan puts it over the bar for a good point for Strokestown. He had Marcus Hanley on his left, he had Luke Dolan on his right, but he elected to go forward and kick it over the bar, which in the circumstances were the safest option. The Roscommon Gaels manager Mickey Menton shouting instructions to his team, and I think he sent them to tighten up the defence, which was split open by that Owen Donlan, Tom Corcoran and Michael Donlan move. Again, Michael Donlan jumps, Pádraig Cookian, that Martin Fallon catches it high in the centre of the field. Even the ball inside to Ronan McPhillips. Ronan McPhillips gives it back to Martin Fallon again. Martin Fallon bounces off Declan O'Donnell, gets through two men. He is taken down by a two-man tackle, and Splendid play by Martin Follen. Showed great strength in riding the tackle and riding the second tackle, but was taken down and got his free. And this free is being taken by Luke Dolan, and it's about 40 metres out. Luke comes up to kick. He kicks it left-footed, and he kicks it accurate and through over the bar. 17 minutes gone in the first half, and Strokestown now 3 points in the lead, 6 points to 3. Joe?
Strokestown beginning to come back into it. They let slip there for 5 or 10 minutes. The Roscommon Gaels began to dominate at midfield, but Owen Donlan is doing Trojan work there in the middle, and they're coming into it now, but they want to stick at it. They don't want to lie down now. And Tommy Cox there, Harrison Well got a great score, set up a great score for Michael Donlan.
And back with the play. The big high ball into the misses the Donald Hanley and misses Damien Owens, but Damien Donlan doing splendid covering there inside his own goalkeeper. Martin Follen in possession now, gets it inside to Ronan McPhillips. Ronan McPhillips looking for a man, gets it along the ground into Luke Dolan. Luke Dolan taken down by a kick, takes the ball quickly. It bypasses John Towie. John Towie is being kicked out by James Lyons along the ground. And James Lyons now down the centre of the field. Leo Shield beats Kevin McStay to the ball and comes out with it and gives it to Martin McDermott. Martin McDermott gives it inside to Luke Dolan. Luke Dolan has given it inside to Tom Corcoran. It's a low pass. Tom Corcoran is trying to get it. Tom Corcoran pushes it outside to Martin McDermott. Martin McDermott kicks a high ball, and it tails to the right and tails wide. And there's 2 Roscommon Gaels players on the deck at the moment. Pádraig Oates, and it looks like Ross Shannon, and now Leo Shield for Strokestown is also down. And it looks like there's a third Roscommon Gaels player in the wars now. David Hoare is being given water at least. 3 groups of players with injury problems, and Gordon Daly, the Strokestown doctor, Tommy Flanagan, John McGowan and Johnny Murphy attending to Leo Shield, and it looks like a head injury. When he was taking that ball out of defence in order to try and get in his pass, he had to ride a tackle and got hit in the tackle, although he got the ball clear. Joe, it's very close at this stage.
Very close. Strokestown got a couple of good scores there. That injury stem for Leo Shield stemmed. He got a good ball, broke from him, and he ran into Ross Shannon there, but I think Ross came out the worst of the way. So I don't know how Leo is. He said he seems to be holding his head, but hopefully he'll be okay.
It looks like it looks like Ross Shannon is being taken off. He's holding his head. There doesn't seem to be any substitute at this stage that we can see, but definitely a blow to Roscommon Gaels. If they're losing Ross Shannon, who's been a very influential player, particularly against Clonagale this year in their championship game against Clonagale. And yes, it looks like his head is bleeding, and he's definitely been recalled. And we have no Roscommon Gaels substitute as yet. Ross Shannon, who was playing left half forward and had a good game in the drawn match, and also, as I said, a very good game against Clonagale when he was brought on. Meanwhile, back at the play, and the ball is being kicked out, and Declan Duke gathers it in the centre of the field. He's bringing the ball down the centre, kicks a high ball into the centre, the heart of the Strokestown defence. Donald Hanley comes out, gathers safely and cleanly, gives it to Damien Owens. Damien Owens kicks it, clears it out into the centre. It's being contested by Porrick and Michael Donlan. Michael Donlan upends Porrick and the Roscommon Gaels have a free. Porrick kicks it inside to Aidan Heenan. Aidan Heenan getting lots of room, trying to get around Damien Owens. Damien Owens blocks down his shot. Owen Donlan gets the ball on the volley. Owen Donlan got the ball away to Michael Donlan. Michael Donlan passed it to Martin McDermott. Sean Mullally felt that the pass was illegal. Meanwhile, the free has been taken. It's been punched out by Damien Owens. Damien Owens gives it to Tom Cox and gets it back. Now it's been cleared out to by Damien Owens to Martin Follen in the centre of the field. Martin Follen being pursued by and he puts it wide. Martin Follen, a bad miss by Martin Follen. And that's the second wide Strokestown have had. Not many wides in this game. It's the second wide they've had in this game. And no doubt Martin Follen will be unhappy with his finish on that occasion. John McGowan urging his team on from the sideline. Mickey Menton doing the same. Meanwhile, Chris Grogan has kicked the ball out into the centre. And it's been gathered by Colm Dowd from the melee in the centre. He gives it back to Martin McDermott. Martin McDermott taking the ball into the centre, carrying it. He's caught and he's gets away from Michael Donlan. Michael Donlan gets the pass. Michael Donlan is, I'd say, upended, but he doesn't get the free. The ball is being put out over the end line by Kieran Heenahan, and Luke Dolan pushes him out over the sideline, and there's a 45-metre free for Strokestown. And it looks like John Towie will be taking the free. It's on his left-hand side, and it's the usual side for him to take frees from. And Ross Shannon has been repackaged, rebandaged, and he's going back on the field. Meanwhile, John Towie takes the kick. It's a good kick into the centre, and it's being caught by Johnny Dowd. Johnny Dowd gets it outside to Declan Duke. Declan Duke gets around John Towie, carrying the ball down the right-hand side. Kicks the ball into the centre, caught by Colm Dowd. Colm Dowd lets it go to Ross Shannon. Ross Shannon is fouled by Colm Dowd, and there's a free to Roscommon Gaels. And it's being kicked by Kevin McStay to Johnny Dowd. Johnny Dowd looking for somebody, kicks it a very high ball into the centre. Leo Shield is under it. Leo Shield, it passes him, comes outside to Aidan Heenahan. Aidan Heenahan is being fouled by Leo Shield, and Sean Mullany is awarding a free into Roscommon Gaels. And it's been taken from the hand by Aidan Heenahan, and Aidan Heenahan has sent it wide. A let off for Strokestown. A free which could have been placed and put over the bar was taken quickly by Aidan Heenahan, and Aidan Heenahan put it wide. Meanwhile, the kick out by Donald Hanley. Donald standing back, comes up, kicks it out. Another high kick into the centre. Martin Follen and David Keys jumping. Kevin McStay gets the break. Kevin McStay trying to work his way inside, gives it to Declan O'Donnell, gets the ball back from Declan O'Donnell, gets it outside to Porrick Oates, but Sean Mullany has pulled the Strokestown defence. O'Donnell up for fouling Kevin McStay, and free in for Roscommon Gaels at this stage. And the Strokestown defence now conceding 2 frees in succession under a fair bit of pressure. Strokestown is still leading by 3 points, 6 points to 3. Joe, how do you see it going at this stage?
McStay is coming out and around the half-forward line there, and he seems to be causing a few problems. There's no one really picking him up, so hopefully they'll solve that problem, Strokestown, because them last few chances, and even that point now has resulted from McStay's involvement around the middle of the field there. So hopefully they'll put someone on the stick on him now.
Well, as Joe said, McStay being fouled, and Aidan Heenahan converting the resulting free. So there's 25 minutes gone in the first half, and Strokestown lead now by 2 points, 6 points to 4. Donald Hanley with the kick out. Again, David Keys jumping. David Keys gets it on this occasion. Kicks it into the centre between Leo Shield and Pádraig Oates, and Pádraig Oates has fouled Leo Shield, a push in the back, and there's a free kick for Strokestown, and Leo Shield leaving the ball to his goalkeeper Donald Hanley, and Donald Hanley now coming up to the kick, and kicks it out to the right hand side. Tom Corcoran catches cleanly and splendidly in the centre of the field, gives it to Owen Donlan. Owen Donlan pumps it into the middle where it goes between Luke Dolan and James Lyons. It comes to Tom Lyons, catches it to Declan Duke working his way inside, gives it to Pádraig Oates kicking the ball down the centre. Leo Shield judges the hop very, very well. He is fouled by Benji Penny, gives the ball outside to Tom Corcoran. Tom Corcoran is now operating, it seems, in the centre of the field, and Owen Donlan gets possession, kicks it high into the centre, and Ronan McPhillips in actual fact is operating at full forward in a switch with Tom Corcoran. Meanwhile, the ball is being taken away by Tom Lyons. Tom Lyons tries to get a pass to, doesn't get it, Marcus Hanley tries to get it, David Keys trying to get it down the centre. Damien Owens well out in front of Aidan Heenahan on this occasion, fouled by Aidan Heenahan, and there's a free to Damien Owens. 27 minutes gone, Damien Owens takes the kick, it's a bad kick, it goes to David Keys. David Keys is upended by Michael Donlan, kicks the ball down into the centre, and Aidan Heenan is all on his own. Aidan Heenan on his own, and he's been great blocked by Leo Shield. Leo Shield blocks the ball well, takes it out the centre. He's been harassed by Declan O'Donnell, gets it across the field to Tom Corcoran. Tom Corcoran goes out to the corner to get it, gives it across into the centre to Owen Donlan. Owen Donlan gives it inside to Michael Donlan. Michael Donlan looking for a man, kicks a high ball into the centre. It's out between James Lyons and Ronan McPhillips. James Lyons catches, Ronan McPhillips gets it, and Ronan McPhillips puts it to the right and wide. A chance gone a begging for Strokestown. No doubt Ronan McPhillips will be unhappy with his efforts when he could have put his team a point ahead. Ronan McPhillips obviously suffering some type of injury now that he's in full forward. Meanwhile, the ball is out in the centre and is caught by David Keys. David Keys gives it back to David Duke. David Duke gives it down in the centre to Johnny Dowd. Johnny Dowd gives it in the centre to Pádraig Oates. Pádraig Oates gives it inside to Kevin McStay. Kevin McStay pulled down by Owen Donlan. Gives it across to the quick free to Declan O'Donnell. Well blocked down by Leo Shield. The next day tries to give it inside to Declan O'Donnell again. Tom Corcoran gets the ball out, gives it to John Towie, gives it to Martin Follen. Martin Follen bringing the ball up in the centre, soloing the ball up. Declan Duke challenges him, he gives the pass across to Michael Donlan. Michael Donlan kicks a great point over the bar. Great point for Strokestown. And Strokestown now on song. The attack, which started in the Strokestown half of the field by Tom Corcoran, fed the ball up the way through Martin Follen to Michael Donlan, and Michael Donlan, great finishing by Michael, and that puts Strokestown 3 points ahead, 4 points to 7. Ball meanwhile out in the centre again is being knocked down by Michael Donlan. He gets the rebound and he gives it to John Towie. John Towie gives it outside to Martin McDermott. Martin McDermott kicks it, and Martin McDermott gets a splendid point out just over the bar. Ball went off the crossbar over the bar. Splendid support play by Martin McDermott, getting the ball, bringing it up the left hand side and kicking a splendid point under pressure over the bar. Strokestown 4 points ahead now, 8 points to 4. Joe, last couple of minutes very good for Strokestown.
Yeah, there's a couple of great scores there from Michael Donlan and Martin McDermott there, and good work by Tom Corcoran. He done great work around the back line there to set up Michael Donlan's last score. That's what Strokes need. Take their score from 30 yards out. They're well able to do it, and it's great before half time to coming in now to 3 points up.
Meanwhile, back at the play, the kick out, knocked down by Martin Follen to Michael Donlan. Michael Donlan to Martin McDermott. Martin McDermott gives it inside to John Towie. John Towie with space. He's bringing it inside. He gets it inside to Michael Donlan. Michael Donlan being hushed off the ball. Michael Donlan holds his feet. Michael Donlan kicks it, and it's held in play by Chris Grogan. Chris Grogan. The umpire has now signalled a 50, and Strokestown are awarded a 50 or a 45. It looked like Chris Grogan had held the ball in play, but the referee took his instructions from the umpire, and the umpire signalled that the ball had gone out over the end line from the boot or hand of a Roscommon Gaels player, and Luke Dolan has the chance to put Strokestown further ahead. We're now in injury time in the first half. Luke Dolan with the 45. Luke comes up, kicks it in a high ball. It trails to the right. They're jumping in the square. The ball ends up in the net, but Sean Mullaney has awarded a free out for a square ball. Chris Grogan takes the kick from the hand. It's a very bad kick. It comes to Luke Dolan. Luke Dolan punishes it by kicking it high and accurate over the bar. A poor kick out from the hand by Chris Grogan. Luke Dolan, the ever alert Luke, spotted the ball coming out to centre, beat his man to the ball and put the ball firmly and cleanly between the posts. Strokestown leading now by 5 points, and we're in the last seconds of the match, although there will be injury time added on because of the 3 injuries in the first half. Strokestown now in the driving seat, 5 points ahead, 9 points to 4. Ball coming out the far side. Johnny Dowd catches it, gives it to Ross Shannon. Ross Shannon taking it down the left hand side, tries to get by Tom Corcoran, tries to get by Colm Dowd. He's fouled in the process, and he gives the ball inside to Pádraig Oates. Pádraig Oates gives it back to Ross Shannon. Ross Shannon trying to ride the tackle, and Ross Shannon is adjudged to have been fouled by the referee Sean Mullaney, and there's a free in for Roscommon Gaels. And there's the ball is being brought on for dissent, I think, by the Strokestown defence, and that is not a sensible thing to do in the circumstances. It gives, I think, Kevin McStay a better opportunity to put the ball over the bar and reduce the Roscommon Gaels deficit in the dying moments of the first half. McStay shaving up, take the kick, kicks it right-footed and kicks it over the bar, and now there's 4 points between the sides. Strokestown lead by 4 points, 9 points to Roscommon Gaels is 5, and it's now half time, and so the half has ended with a point by Roscommon Gaels. On this occasion the half started with a splendid start by Strokestown, and there are 4 points between the sides at this stage, and we're now taking a break, and we'll be back with you for the second half and interviews. And we're back with the match, the 1992 county final replay, and Roscommon Gaels are out on the field, and Strokestown now emerging onto the field. And the news around Elphin is that Pádraig McNeil, who's wearing number 21, seems to be kitted out to play. And we can't confirm that as yet, and neither can we confirm if anybody has been replaced on the Roscommon Gaels team. Johnny Murphy with the red case, being pursued by Tommy Flanagan. Senior selectors, no doubt, happy enough with the performance of his team so far. The Strokestown mentors moving towards their dugout, and it looks like Pádraig McNeil is going to centre field.
Pádraig McNeil replaces number 14, Benji Penny.
And if you haven't heard that, Benji Penny, the full forward, has been replaced, and Pádraig McNeil is gone to the centre of the field, and it looks like Strokestown have also made changes. Martin McDermott is in the centre of the field, and the ball is thrown in, and Pádraig McNeil is first to get possession. He is trying to get inside, gives it inside to Kevin McStay. Kevin McStay soloing inside, tried to get by Tom Cox. Tom Cox is trying to hold him outside him. He turns Tom Cox and he kicks it, but it goes to the left and goes wide. And the first attack of the second half by Roscommon Gaels, set up by Pádraig McNeil, but Kevin McStay puts the ball to the left and wide. And it looks like Johnny Dowd has gone to full forward. Donald Hanley meanwhile with the kick out, and he's kicking it out to his right hand side, and he gives it to Tom Cox. Tom Cox gets round Ross Shannon, kicks a high ball down into the centre. They jump there for it. Michael Donlan catches it very well, gives it inside to Ronan McPhillips. Ronan McPhillips looking up to see somebody, he kicks it a high ball and it tails to the right. It's meant for Luke Dolan. It's caught by Kieran Heenahan. Kieran Heenahan gets it outside, and it comes to Johnny Dowd. Johnny Dowd trying to get it inside. Owen Donlan tries to cut. Owen Donlan and Leo Shield getting each other's way, and it's kicked inside by Pádraig Oates. Pádraig Oates gets it to Aidan Heenahan. Aidan Heenahan trying to get it across, and it goes off the bar, and he kicks it. A good point for Roscommon Gaels, which came from a mistake by the two Strokestown players who collided in going for the ball. And the ball was fed inside to Kieran Heenahan, who kicked the ball across, and it bounced off the bar and over the bar. First point of the second half to Roscommon Gaels. Roscommon Gaels trail by 3 points. Strokestown 9, Roscommon Gaels 6, and Donald Hanley with the kick out. Kicked high into the centre. Martin Follen jumps. Martin Follen, a fine catch by Martin Follen in the centre of the field. Martin Follen is held, but he gets it into John Towie. John Towie gets it inside to Luke Dolan. Luke Dolan gathers under pressure. Luke Dolan turns to his left, gets it across to Martin McDermott. Martin McDermott kicks a high ball into the centre, and it's caught by Chris Grogan. Grogan trying to get the ball out, but he's fouled in the process by Ronan McPhillips and John Towie. And there's a few players speaking to each other there. And Sean Mullaney appears to be booking some player. In fact, he's booking Michael Donlan, who didn't appear to be involved in the incident at all. And the first Strokestown attack ends in a free out for Roscommon Gaels. Chris Grogan takes the ball, it's high into the centre. Martin Follen jumps again, and this time it's knocked away from him by David Keys. David Keys kicks it inside to Pádraig Oates. Pádraig Oates gathers under pressure from Leo Shield. Declan O'Donnell gets it now. He tries to get around Damien Donlan, gives it across to Pádraig McNeil. Pádraig McNeil kicks, and Pádraig McNeil kicks a point. And that leaves 2 points between the sides, and a good start to the second half by Roscommon Gaels. Joe, a good start by Roscommon Gaels.
Yeah, Strokestown, the first score there, a complete mess up there between someone, I think it was Owen Donnan, and resulted in the point from Aidan Heenahan, and a good score there for Pádraig McNeil. So Strokestown want to get the grips to the middle of the field again.
Meanwhile, the kick out with Donald Hanley comes into the centre again. Martin Follen jumps high, knocks it down to Tom Cox. Tom Cox is hit in the face by Pádraig McNeil. The free to Strokestown, and Martin McDermott to take it. Tom Cox getting really into the game now. Owen Donlan is in fact going to take the kick. And in fact it's Damien Donlan that's going to take the kick. And he kicks it and it tails to the right. It's meant for Luke Dolan. Luke Dolan catches it cleanly under pressure, drops it in front of him. Martin McDermott gets it. Martin McDermott kicks a high, fine ball in, and it's in fact a great point by Martin McDermott. A point reminiscent of his scores against Elphin. A splendid point from all of 60 yards out by Martin McDermott to put Strokestown 3 points ahead of the Gaels. And a good reply by Strokestown to the pressure that they were under in the first couple of minutes of the second half. And Chris Grogan with the kick out. Kicks it, it's a low ball on this occasion. It's gathered by Pádraig McNeil. Pádraig McNeil gets by Martin McDermott. He kicks a high ball into the centre between Pádraig Oates and Leo Shield. Leo Shield pushes it out to O'Donnellan. O'Donnellan gets it, and under pressure gets it out to Martin Fallon. Martin Fallon has to fight very hard to get it. He gets it back to Damien Owens. Damien Owens kicks it into the centre where there's no Strokestown player to get it, and it comes to Declan Duke. Declan Duke gives it to Pádraig McNeil. Pádraig McNeil gives it back to Declan Duke. Declan Duke kicks it up along to the right where Damien Owens is. Damien Owens lets it go by him. And Aidan Heenan, a splendid opportunity for Aidan Heenan. He kicked the ball too quickly and he kicks it wide. The ball dropping out of Damien Owens' hand was quite high for him, and he hadn't jumped. Nevertheless, Aidan Heenan got a gilt-edged opportunity to score for Strokestown and put it wide. A let off for Strokestown there, which they will be glad of. Donnan Hanley attempting a quick kick out changes his mind. Tom Cox making himself available. Donald Hanley now with the kick out. There's a bad kick out. It's caught by Kevin McStay. Kevin McStay trying to turn his man and trying to get around Owen Donlan, and Owen Donlan brings him down, and Sean Mullaney awards a free to the Roscommon Gaels. Kevin McStay not that happy, wanted something other than a free, and Aidan Heenan is the kicker, and this is about 20 metres or so out on the right hand side of the post. Well within Aidan Heenan's range. Aidan Heenan kicks, and Aidan Heenan puts it over the bar. And now there's 2 points between the sides again, and Strokestown 10, Roscommon Gaels 8. Have Strokestown let the initiative go by them at this stage again, Joe?
Pádraig McNeil seems to be making the difference around the middle of the field. He's letting the ball in long, but if Strokestown stick to their play, and I'd like to see Tom Corkin get a bit more involved there in the game.
Okay, Joe, and while Joe was speaking, Jerry Hagan, at 37 years old, the veteran of the side, has replaced Ronan McPhillips. Obviously Ronan McPhillips is injured, and while that is a blow to Roscommon Gael, or to Strokestown, there's no doubt that the experience of Jerry Hagan will be vital in this second half. Meanwhile, back with the play, Declan Duke with the ball, gives it inside to Kevin McStay. Kevin McStay being shadowed by Owen Donlan, gives it inside to Duke again. Duke trying to get somebody to give it to. He kicks it left-footed, a high ball into the centre, being contested by Pádraig Oates and Leo Shield. And it's been pushed out by Tom Cox to Owen Donlan. Owen Donlan getting it outside to Damien Donlan. Damien Donlan being pulled from behind, drops the ball, gets it up again, is pulled down by Declan O'Donnell, and there's a free kick to Damien Donlan. Damien Donlan kicks it quickly to Tom Corcoran. Tom Corcoran gets it back to Damien Donlan. Damien Donlan taking it down on the left hand side, kicks it inside, and it goes by, it gets to John Towie. John Towie gets it inside. John Towie drops. He's being pulled down. He's not getting the free, and the ball is being taken out by David Hoare. David Hoare taking it out on the right hand side, and it's coming to David Keys. David Keys giving it inside to Pádraig Cookie, and Pádraig Cookie giving it inside to Pádraig McNeil. David Keys kicking it up to the right hand side. Damien Owens catches cleanly on this occasion and takes it right down to the centre where Michael Donlan is waiting for it. Michael Donlan takes it cleanly, gives it to Corcoran. Corcoran has the pace, gets the ball, has to turn his man, getting inside, go through the centre, gives it inside to John Towie. John Towie is tackled. John Towie is knocked to the ground. He gets it back to Michael Donlan. Michael Donlan gives it to John Towie, and John Towie puts the ball over the bar. A splendid point by Tom Corcoran after a passing movement which involved 3 Strokestown players, and despite the fact that John Towie had been heavily tackled, he got the ball back out to Tom Corcoran. Tom Corcoran put the ball over the bar. Nine minutes gone in the second half, and the 3 points between the sides now, 11 points to Strokestown, 8 to Roscommon Gaels. And the ball has now gone missing, and there's a delay until we get a ball. Now there's 2 balls, and it looks like the referee is going to settle for one, and Chris Grogan has that one, and it's now about to be kicked out. The crowd beginning to get on the edge of their seats now. Ball being kicked out into the centre. Martin Fallon jumps with David Keys. The ball comes to Declan Duke. Declan Duke kicks it along the ground up. Damien Donlan gathers, gives it outside to Tom Cox. Tom Cox gives it to Martin Fallon. Martin Fallon looking for somebody, kicks it down the right hand side to Luke Dolan. Luke Dolan doesn't get it. It goes between David Hoare and Jerry Hagan. Jerry Hagan wins the line ball. The ball going off David Hoare's foot. And there is now a Strokestown player on the ground. And the play is held up. And it looks like Damien Donlan is on the deck. John McGowan is going over, and so is Gordon Daly. And if Damien Donlan is badly injured, there'll certainly be a severe blow to Strokestown. It is in fact Damien Donlan, and it looks like he has a leg injury.
Get down, lads.
Damien Donlan being the heart and soul of the Strokestown revival in the drawn game. Quite a performance on this occasion, but nevertheless an influential player for Strokestown, and in fact he's up and about and looks shook, but he's carrying on. And I'm sure Strokestown and all its supporters breathe a sigh of relief that Damien Donlan is carrying on. Meanwhile, back with the play, the line ball has been taken and it's caught by Pádraig Cookie, and Pádraig Cookie trying to find his way out. He's fouled by Luke Dolan, and the referee has awarded a free out to Roscommon Gaels, and Pádraig Cookie is on the ground. He's now up, and Chris Grogan will take the free kicker. He's coming out of his goals to do it anyway. In fact, he's not. David Keys now is lining up to do it, and now Declan Duke is going to do it. So between them anyway, they're going to still get a free. And Declan Duke with the kick, kicks it over to the stand side. It goes between Johnny Dowd and Tom Cox. Johnny Dowd catches, gives it inside to Declan O'Donnell. Declan O'Donnell being pursued by Damien Donlan. Damien Donlan shadowing him all the way. Damien Donlan tackles him and gets the ball away from him. It comes to Kevin McStay. Kevin McStay being tackled by Owen Donlan. And Martin McDermott and Owen Donlan is adjudged to have fouled Kevin McStay. And there's a free in for Roscommon Gaels, and Aidan Heenan will be the kicker. 3 points between the sides. 12 minutes gone in the second half, and Roscommon Gaels are bringing on another substitution. Charlie Hunt, who came on in the drawn game, is being brought on, and it looks like Pádraig Oates is being replaced. Meanwhile, Aidan Heenan takes the kick. It's a low kick. It's caught well by Owen Donlan. Owen Donlan gives it outside to Damien Owens. Damien Owens kicks it into the centre. It comes to Charlie Hunt, and Charlie Hunt pushes across to Pádraig McNeil. Pádraig McNeil to Ross Shannon. Ross Shannon gets inside, and Ross Shannon puts it to the right and wide. A let off for Strokestown then. Ross Shannon cut through the defence. A pass from Pádraig McNeil, and
On the Roscommon Gaels team,
Strokestown breathe again.
Hunt replaces number 11, Pádraig Oates.
And that replacement has been confirmed. Pádraig Oates has been withdrawn, and Charlie Hunt has been put on the Gaels team, and it looks like he is operating at centre of the field, and there has been a reshuffle in the Roscommon Gaels attack. Meanwhile, up with the play, Donald Hanley kicks into the centre. It's broken down to Owen Donlan. Owen Donlan passes inside to John Towie. John Towie is tackled again heavily. Martin McDermott gets the ball from him, kicks it into the centre. Jerry Hagan gets possession. Jerry Hagan passes it outside to Luke Dolan. Luke Dolan kicks. It's a high ball, and it goes to the left and wide. Very, very close, but the umpire has signalled that the ball has gone wide. Strokestown badly needed a score at that stage to steady their nerves. Meanwhile, the kick out by Chris Grogan into the centre of the field. A splendid catch by Martin Fallon in the centre of the field. The ball knocked away from, comes to Declan Duke. Declan Duke gives the ball outside. It comes to Charlie Hunt. Charlie Hunt being shadowed by Owen Donlan, taking the ball into the centre. It's cut out by Leo Shield. Leo Shield passes it outside to Tom Corcoran. Tom Corcoran gives it to Damien Donlan. Damien Donlan looking for space, trying to get around his man. He's looking for somebody to give it to. He gives it to Martin McDermott. Martin McDermott gives it across to Owen Donnellan. Owen Donnellan taking the ball into the centre. Strokestown now making space for themselves. Gives the ball across to Colin Dowd. Or Martin Fallon. Martin Fallon kicks and Martin Fallon puts it across over the bar. Great point by Fozzie Fallon to put Strokestown 4 points ahead at a vital stage of the game. 15 minutes gone in the second half. Meanwhile, the kick out caught by Tom Corcoran. Tom Corcoran puts the ball down the left hand side, trying to get it to Jerry Hagan. Jerry Hagan is fouled by David Hoare, and there's a free in for Strokestown. And in fact, the referee hasn't awarded a free.
This is yours, Ronnie.
And meanwhile, the ball is being kicked into the centre. Owen Donnellan gathers. Owen Donnellan gives it across to Colin Dowd. Colin Dowd looking for somebody, gives it across to John Towie. John Towie gathers well, trying to turn his man. John Towie is pulled and hit from the front by Ross Shannon. And John Towie is down. John Towie has taken quite a number of knocks in this game, but he's a fairly resilient and fit player, and he's in fact up and about. Meanwhile, there's another Strokestown player down injured. Owen Donnellan, a late tackle when he gave the ball across to Colin Dowd, and he's receiving attention now. Meanwhile, the Roscommon team is being reshuffled, and number 19 Paul Carty is being brought on. You might remember he lost his place. Paul Carty, Paul Owens had lost his place. Paul Carty is being brought in as corner forward, and it looks like Johnny Dowd has been in fact he has been replaced, yes. Now meanwhile, back with the play, Strokestown are in the attack. Fozzie in possession. His ball is blocked down. It comes to Luke Dolan. Luke Dolan is upended by a low tackle on the shins, and there's another injury, and it looks like, in fact, it's Marcus Hanley that has been upended. And meanwhile, Strokestown 4 points ahead, and in reasonable control of the game if they can put the scores away at this stage. Meanwhile, Marcus Hanley is getting some treatment from Gordon Daly, who's a busy man today, no doubt. Being well paid on the Sunday rate. Meanwhile, John Towie with a vital kick for Strokestown. Kicks the ball across, kicks it right footed, and kicks it over the bar. No, in fact, he doesn't. I was expecting the umpire to go for his flag. He looked like he was running for something, but he was only waving his arms. Meanwhile, Paul Carty is discovering that Tom Cox is harder than he would have expected. And meanwhile, the ball is kicked out in the centre. Owen Donnellan gathers the loose ball again. He's been tackled by Charlie Hunt and fouled by tackle. And Strokestown now have a free kick, which is to be taken by Michael Donnellan. John Towie making the run across the centre. In fact, he's given it to John Towie. Good run by John Towie, making himself available, trying to get the ball inside, giving it across to Tom Corcoran. Tom Corcoran being pushed out to the left-hand side, looking for somebody to give it. He gets it on his right foot. Solon gives it across to Martin McDermott. Martin McDermott on his favourite right side. Gives it inside, and it's a long ball, and a very long ball for Jerry Hagan, and it's an impossible ball for Jerry Hagan to get. And Chris Grogan with the kick out again, taking no time to it. A short kick out. It comes to Declan O'Donnell. He's trying to work it upside. He is being tackled by Luke Dolan. Luke Dolan pursuing him all the way. He kicks the ball low across. It comes to Colin Dowd. Colin Dowd gets it across very well to Owen Donnellan. Owen Donnellan is taking a lot of punishment, but gives it back to Leo Shield. Leo Shield is trying to get out with the ball. And Leo Shield has been tackled, and he's been put out over the line. Paul Carty put out over the line by Colin Dowd. And the play, it's hottening up around here, including the commentary position. Meanwhile, Luke Dolan with the line ball. comes to John Towie. John Towie gets it inside to Martin McDermott. Martin McDermott close to the sideline trying to get it up. He can't get it up. Declan Duke gets the ball, and Declan Duke is adjudged to have been fouled. And he gets a free kick. It's kicked inside to David Keys. David Keys kicking the ball across the centre. And it's going outside to Paul Carty. Paul Carty now operating on the right-hand side of the field. He gets the ball inside to Declan O'Donnell. Declan O'Donnell being shadowed by Damien Donlan. He passes the ball inside to and the pass passes Aidan Heenahan. Colin Dowd recovers, gives it back to Damien Owens. Damien Owens clears it out the centre, and Martin McDermott knocks it away for David Keys. It gives it to Luke Dolan. Luke Dolan getting the ball down, push it down the right hand side again. John Towie making himself available, gives it across to Jerry Hagan. Jerry Hagan trips, unable to control the ball. It's been taken outside by David Hoare, and it's been Marcus Hanley went down to try and get the ball. It was kicked out over the line. Jerry Hagan meanwhile takes the line ball, goes inside to Michael Donlan. Michael Donlan is pushed in the back. He doesn't get the free. The referee plays the advantage. He gives it to Martin Follen. Martin Follen working it into the centre, trying to get somebody to give it to. Martin Follen is being pulled. He is being upended, and there is a free out. I don't believe it to Roscommon Gaels for a touching the ball on the ground, despite the fact that Martin Follen was knocked and had to touch it on the ground. Meanwhile, Ross Shannon and Colin Dowd contest that ball. Again, the referee has judged that Ross Shannon has been fouled by Colin Dowd, and there's a free in to Roscommon Gaels. Meanwhile, it's taken quickly to Charlie Hunt. Charlie Hunt into Declan O'Donnell. Declan O'Donnell gives it inside to Pádraig McNeil. Pádraig McNeil unmarked at the moment, trying to get it on his right foot. He gets on his right foot and he kicks it over the bar, and Roscommon Gaels have reduced their deficit to 3 points. 22 minutes gone in the second half, and a Roscommon Gaels revival. The Pádraig McNeil point brings the difference between the sides back to 3 points. Meanwhile, Donald Hanley has the kick out, kicks it into the centre. Tom Corcoran jumps, he's pushed in the back. Meanwhile, it comes to Owen Donlan. Owen Donlan doing a lot of gathering for Strokestown, kicking a high ball into the centre, and it comes to Luke Dolan. It knocks it down to Martin McDermott. Martin McDermott, surrounded by 3 men, gets it across to Tom Corcoran. Tom Corcoran is being pulled by Declan O'Donnell. He gets it across to Damien Donlan. Damien Donlan gets by the tackle, goes into the centre. Damien Donlan kicks, and Damien Donlan puts it to the right and wide. A good attack by Strokestown. Unfortunately, it didn't result in a score. Joe, what do you think of Strokestown's chances at this stage?
If Strokestown keep them out from getting a goal, I think they'll hang on. But they're being caught out there at the back a few times. But a good interception by Owen Donlan, who's having a great game. They're holding together. And I think their play carrying the ball up there on the forward line isn't working. If they kick the ball long like Martin McDermott's done earlier on, they have a better chance.
Meanwhile, back with the play, and the ball goes into the centre there, and it's been Paul Carty gets possession. He's fouled. He kicks the ball into the centre. Meanwhile, Leo Shield cuts out the ball very well on Kevin McStay, and Leo Shield trying to pass the ball down to John Towie, and John Towie unable to keep it in play, and there's a line ball for Roscommon Gaels. Referee asking the Strokestown mentors to go back towards the dugout. Meanwhile, the referee has been taken. Paul Carty gets it up. The referee has awarded Paul Carty a free, and Kevin McStay takes the kick quickly, and it's been pushed out by away from Martin McDermott. Martin McDermott unable to get it. Tom Lyons is in possession now. He's surrounded by Michael Donlan, and he's surrounded by Martin McDermott. In the meantime, Kevin McStay and Pádraig Cookian missed up the ball between them, and Leo Shield gets the ball back out to Luke Dolan. Luke Dolan being harassed and harassed, and he is trying to get meanwhile, the ball is being won by David Keys. David Keys bringing the ball up the centre. He's been pursued again by Luke Dolan. He kicks the ball inside. Damien Donlan Splendid play by Damien Donnan along the ground. Gives it to Damien Owens. Damien Owens to Tom Corcoran. Tom Corcoran trying to find space for himself. Kicks a high ball into the centre. A great ball to Michael Donlan. Michael Donlan catches it cleanly. And Marcus Hanley is in possession. If he gives it to Jerry Hagan now. And he gives it to Jerry Hagan. Jerry Hagan puts it over the bar. There was an opportunity of a goal at that stage, but Jerry Hagan punched the ball over the bar using all his guile and experience. Didn't take the opportunity of giving the goalkeeper a chance to save it. Punches the ball over the bar to leave 4 points between the sides again. Chris Grogan with the kick out. It goes on to the right hand side. Martin Follen and David Keys contested. It is gathered by John Towie. John Towie attempted pass into Marcus Hanley. Unfortunately it doesn't reach him, gets out over the sideline, and there's a line ball to Roscommon Gaels taken by David Keys. Owen Donlan catches the ball well, brings it down the centre. Tom Corcoran gets possession. He's trying to find somebody to give it to. Gives it across to Martin Follen. Martin Follen trying to work his way inside, trying to get himself back on his right foot. Falls, tries to pass the ball outside. He's unable to get it, and it's got by a Roscommon Gaels defender, David Hoare. David Hoare is fouled, and it's meanwhile the kick is taken quickly, and Colm Dowd gets the ball, gets it back to Luke Dolan. Luke Dolan kicks a ball inside. It's punched down by Jerry Hagan. Jerry Hagan punches it, and Strokestown have got a goal. Jerry Hagan punched the ball down to Marcus Hanley. Marcus Hanley pushed it back to Michael Donlan, and Michael Donlan made no mistake on the ground, rattled the Roscommon Gaels net. Meanwhile, back with the match, Roscommon Gaels in possession now. Declan Duke trying to work the ball up the field. Declan Duke is fouled, and he gets his free kick high one into the centre. Damien Owens jumps for it, comes out to Ross Shannon. Ross Shannon is beaten by Colm Dowd. Damien Donnan collects the ball, gives it to Tom Corcoran. Corcoran holds it up, gives it back to Damien Donlan. Damien Owens clears the ball down the field. It comes to James Lyons. James Lyons passing the ball outside to his centre half back, Pádraig Cookie, and Pádraig Cookie gives it to Declan O'Donnell. Declan O'Donnell trying to work the ball into the centre. Leo Shield gathers cleanly. Great catch by Leo Shield. Passes it outside to Tom Cox. Tom Cox must bend and take this, and he bends and picks. He recovers, gives it to Michael Donlan. Michael Donlan gives it across field to Martin Follen. Martin Follen gives it inside to Michael Donlan again. Michael Donlan with space, taking it down the left hand side. Teeing himself up for a shot. Kicks left handed and kicks it to the left and wide. Joe, great few minutes for Strokestown.
Brilliant move for the goal. A great save by Grogan, but Shiner, as always, very alert there, and a great goal. Should seal it for Strokestown at this stage, but they want to keep on their toes. There's 3 or 4 minutes left. Plug away and get another score, but at the moment they're playing outstanding football.
I thought it was Michael Donlan that got the goal, but meanwhile, back at the play, the Roscommon Gaels have kicked the ball out. David Duke bringing the ball up on the right hand side, being pursued by a tired John Towie. Colm Dowd now picks him up. Meanwhile, inside it comes to Pádraig McNeil. Pádraig McNeil kicks it, and Pádraig McNeil puts it over the bar. Roscommon Gaels pull one back at this stage, and they're now 6 points adrift. 113 for Strokestown, 10 points for Roscommon Gaels. And there's a substitution on the Strokestown team. We reckon there's about 5 minutes gone, and Tom Cox, in fact, has been replaced. And Richard Glover has been brought into the game, and Tom Cox, having played a great game for Strokestown, has succumbed to injury and has been replaced by Richard Glover. Meanwhile, the kick out by Donald Hanley. Donald Hanley kicks it inside. It's been contested by Damien Owens and Aidan Heenan. Damien Owens wins the battle and gives it outside to Tom Corcoran. Tom Corcoran being tackled. He rides the tackle. Charlie Hunt still pursues him, and David Keys gives it inside, holds it up and gives it to Martin Follen. Martin Follen to Michael Donlan. Michael Donlan gets the ball nicely, gives it to John Towie. Great support play now by Strokestown. John Towie looking up, trying to find somebody, kicks the ball in. It's blocked by David Keys. Declan Duke trying to get the ball out. Declan Duke trying to get it out to Tom Lyons. Tom Lyons unable to keep it in play, and there's a line ball for Strokestown. Meanwhile, Martin McDermott takes the line ball, kicks it inside to Hagen. Hagen being held. He still is able to hold the ball. He gets his free, and Strokestown have a free at a critical time in the game, and an opportunity for Luke Dolan, no doubt, to add to the Strokestown tally. And the experience of Jerry Hagen shown in the last couple of minutes there. He was able to hold his player off. He was able to gather possession and get the free. And Strokes are now in a very commanding position. 6 points ahead, and Luke Dolan puts it straight and through over the bar, and now they're 7 points ahead. And we're in injury time now, and Joe, it's a very good last 10 minutes for Strokestown.
Great performance, took great scores there, and when Roscommon Gaels seemed to be coming into it there midway, the last quarter there, the knuckle down again, and it's all over.
And in fact the game is over, and Strokestown are the 1992 county champions. And even the commentary box is awash with excitement. Since 1933, Strokestown haven't won a senior championship. And after 59 years, Strokestown have won the 1992 county championship. The presentation will now take place whenever the players and mentors are being, whenever they can, when they can get off the field. And we go back to Joe McAvoy for a few comments before the presentation. Joe, what do you think now?
A great game of football. Strokestown were on top throughout most of the game. They were for a while there at the start of the second half, but with Owen Donlan doing tremendous work there and Fozzie in the middle of the field, they kept it going.
Who do you think who fashioned this win for Strokestown? Who was their best players on the day?
Well, it was a team performance. Leo Shield there around the back line and Damien Owens intercepted great Roscommon attacks, and in the middle there, as I said, Owen Donlan was outstanding, and up front John Towie had a brilliant game. He worked hard, got a lot of ball, and Martin McDermott, his usual self, with a few great points when they were badly needed. And needless to say, they all Lorry Driver himself, when he came on there, got a vital point, fisted point, which put them 4 points up and settled them down again. So all in all, a great team performance, every one of them.
You said that Strokestown would win it. Did you think they'd win it by 7 points?
Well, as I said to you last day, I said they'd win by 5 or 6 points, but all through, like I knew it would be a different ball game today, but it was a great win, and they really bet them fair and square. Roscommon Gaels could have no quibs about the game today. They were betting all sectors. As I said, Pádraig McNeil rallied them there for a while, but overall they were beaten by a far superior team today.
And is it the case, even though you're a Kilmore man through and through, you'll be drinking pints of porter in Strokestown tonight?
Well, I drink them every other night, and so I don't think tonight will make any difference. Only they'll go down a bit sweeter tonight, Pat.
OK, Joe, right. We're waiting for the presentation, and there isn't very much happening at the moment.
At the gate beside it's the main gate.
The Strokestown team to make their way to the presentation area, which is directly in front of us. The Strokestown supporters streaming onto the field at this stage, and it looks like we will have to take a break because we haven't much to show you for the moment. So we'll take a break and we'll be back with you in a couple of moments. Great. Jerry Red. Come on, come on. Start to bring up the people. Bring them round. Come on, face the team. The Strokestown team being brought into the centre with all their delirious supporters. They have won 9 county finals before this, and now they have their 10th.
Before presenting the trophy, just a few first of all, I want to thank Sean Mullaney and his officials for having done an excellent job on today's final, and to thank all referees and their officials who officiated at games during the year. I cannot speak too highly of the Elfin Cup and the manner in which they have prepared both the park and the surrounds for today's final, and indeed over the last few Sundays.
well-deserved praise from County Chairman Tom Kennoy for the loan for the Elphin club and the way they prepared the grounds.
Pay tribute to the stewards, Chief Steward Parry Brandon and all his assistants, and to the Dr. McNamara and Dr. Daly who looked after the players today. My commiserations to Roscommon Gaels. They fought the good fight. Unfortunately today was not to be their day, but I have no doubt they will come again. Next I want to call on Dermot Early to present the Man of the Match trophy to Owen Donlan.
And Owen Donlan receives the Man of the Match trophy from Dermot Early, a richly deserved award in a day in which he played his finest game for Strokestown. Owen being manhandled towards the presentation area and has been brought up beside Tom Kennoy and Dermot Early. And Owen Donlan receives his well-deserved trophy.
Years is a long time, and today for Strokestown the long wait comes to an end. I know there will be a long celebration. I would ask two things: that it would be a dignified celebration and a safe celebration above all else. I also want to say to Strokestown that on the 8th of November they will represent both themselves and Roscommon in the Connaught Club Championship against Ahowillan here in Elphin, and I'd ask them to bear that in mind. And without further ado, I will present the cup to Owen Donlan, or to Damien Donlan.
Owen Donlan almost promoted to captain there, but the real captain, Damien Donlan, is now being presented with the Fahy Cup. On behalf of his team, the 1992 county champion Strokestown. Damien holding the cup aloft.
Ladies and gentlemen, 59 years and 2 weeks is a long wait, but it's well fucking worth it. Excuse my French, lads, but I just don't know what to say. I have to start off with the usual, thank a number of people. Firstly, Elphin Club. We look around here, we have the finest ground in Connaught. I think it's a great credit to them, the amount of the work they've done over the years. And I'm sure they get the games they deserve. Thanks to them. I'll go back to our own club. There's a number of people down through the years who have been great supporters of ours. A number of people who haven't. But in the last number of months, we have got the greatest support we've ever received since any of us played with Strokestown. Lads, we thank you very much for coming out in force today, and indeed 2 weeks ago and all summer. We're going forward to the Connaught Championship, and lads, no Roscommon team goes down to the Leitrim team, and we'll be carrying that forward. Firstly, I'd like to thank those who have sponsored us over the year. Without them, it's very hard to run a club. Without them, we can't do anything. We can't get players down training. We have to thank our main sponsors, Larrigan Quarries and Marcus. All those, Damon Sheed, Katie's Bar, anyone else, I can't think of you all now, but I'll remember you. But most of all, I'd like to thank the 4 people who have been directly involved in our club, who've been training the team. Firstly, our 2 selectors, Johnny Postman, Pat Murphy. Teeny, he won't be in work till Monday week. And Tommy Flanagan. I'd like to thank a man who's come in and has trained us and has really half-killed us. We rate him as one of the best footballers ever to represent Roscommon and his club. Our indebted gratitude goes to Gay Sheeran. Finally, I'd like to thank a man who has come into our club in the last number of years. And the biggest single thing he has given us is self-belief, and belief that we can be what we deserve to be, and that's county champions. The greatest thanks go to John McGowan. personal note, I'd like to thank 25, 30 players in our senior panel, and indeed our juniors. They put in a serious effort over the last 2 or 3 months. They surprised me, they surprised themselves. Jerry Hagan thought he never put on boots again, but he's playing. Lads, I thank you for making me captain at the start of the year. It's a great privilege and honour to carry this forward. I look forward to the rest of the championship. As we said, we're still in it and we're going for it. Finally, before the Guinness goes stale, I'd like to thank the gallant Roscommon Gaels team. We've 2 of the best championship games in Roscommon for a number of years. Give 3 cheers to the Gaels. Hip hip. Hip hip. Hip hip. Up ya boy ya.
Okay, we're taking our broadcast unit now down to do some interviews, and there's absolute mayhem and excitement in Elphin at this stage, and we'll talk to you later on. How do you feel?
I feel great today. I'm proud of them, and I'm a long time following them and watching for them, and they're due to it after what, 29 years or
59.
59.
59. So it can't get any worse now. It has to get better.
It has to get better, and the next time we meet we'll beat them too.
And will you be wanting the jerseys back this evening?
I will, surely, because there's a strike. There's going to be a strike on
There's a strike on.
this week, they said.
A strike on in the washing powder.
Oh no,
Okay, Molly. Where are you going now?
going to Strokestown to celebrate.
Are you going to a pub?
I will, surely.
Well done, Molly. I'm sure this is more
I'm
than.
delighted.
It's the least you deserve after all these years
Oh,
of effort. Well done, Molly.
God bless
Okay.
you. God bless you.
Pat McHugh, former player and mentor and official of the club. How do you feel?
Proud. Extremely proud of the lads. Great performance. What more can you say? They won it in style. Fair play to them.
59 years. Did you ever think it would happen?
Ah, yeah. When the young players are always there, it's only a matter of getting it together. And they have got it together the last couple of years. They're knocking on the door. And they deliver the goods today. Fair play to them.
Did you think Strokestown had thrown it away in the drawing game?
No, not really. I did not. No, I did not think that. No, I knew they were in with a chance. A good chance.
You said you were confident in the last interview. Did you think they were going to win it by 7 points?
I knew they were capable of winning it. Like, it didn't matter whether it was 1 or 7. That was it, anyway. Well done, lads. Thanks very much.
Okay, Pat, well done. Sean, what did you think of the game?
I thought it was a fabulous game of football, one with such style. It's unbelievable, and if they keep that up, well and better look out in the next match. They're just fantastic today.
It's said that you were a good few years now hanging around Strokestown and supporting Strokestown. Did you ever think you'd see them win a county final?
Well, in the reply to your first question, I'm not that many years hanging around Strokestown, and I had great belief in this team when I saw them there. I saw them in the first championship match in Tulsk, and I thought I had great belief in them, and I'm delighted now that it has come true.
And it's likely that you'll take a pint on the way back in Strokestown?
There's a possibility. We might even break with all tradition and have one even in Elphin.
Well done, Sean. Thanks very much. As a former player with Strokestown, did you ever think you'd see them win a county final?
Well, I didn't think they'd mature this area. I thought it was sometime in the future, but I didn't think this year was their year. But they're a great crowd of footballers, and them all played their part. It was a great game.
They won it in style, didn't they?
They won it in style. They're a very good, great men to lay off a ball, and they were marvellous on the day. Better team than they were the last evening.
Your father-in-law won a county championship medal with Strokestown in 1928, and your son has now won a county championship medal in 1992 with Strokestown.
That's right.
That's fairly historic.
I won one for the juniors in '61.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
So it's a long span to wait for a county, but then again, there was no senior team in Strokestown for years. So I'm glad to see that they've reached the top of the ladder.
And tell us, did you, at any stage, did you think that they had thrown it away when they weren't able to win the first game?
No, I didn't think. I thought they were quite capable of winning it at all times. They were in hard luck the last day. They had a bad start, but they proved themselves. They were able to come back from one, whatever they were down, and they came back. And I was quite confident going into today's game that they'd bring it off. Even though looking at the day on the video, the last day, Roscommon looked a good team. But all in all, I think our lads had the edge, and they were the better team.
Okay, Seamus, thanks very much. Go off and celebrate. Okay, Ciaran, what do you think now? Finally, Strokestown have won it.
Well, they have. Well, we expected after the last day, and even before the last day, we expected to win it. And I think that the lads played with as much determination, but I think more fellas played well today, and that was the key to the Strokestown victory.
What did you do? What changes did you make that made Strokestown a different team today?
I wouldn't say that we made any real changes. I think after the second half, in the second half the last day, we ironed out a few positions that we weren't sure of, and I think with the way the team started today, that we seem to have got the right blend, and players. The other 20 or 30% of players that didn't play well the last day came good today, and I think that was the key. It was a good team effort today.
10 minutes after the second half started, Roscommon Gaels pulled Strokestown back to 2 points. Were you worried at that stage?
No, I wasn't, because we were making plenty of space up the middle, and I felt that if the shooters got the ball, that we had a great chance of knocking over a couple of points, and that's the way it worked. Michael Donlan hopped over a point, and Lukey hopped over a point. Tom Corcoran done the business when it was needed, and I always felt that we were good enough, even the last day, to win by 3 or 4 points, and even at any stage I wasn't worried in the second half.
And after this win, are you going to go on into management?
Oh no, I wouldn't say that. I mean, I have to try and keep playing first.
We're taking that as read.
Well, we'll see. Management is another story down the road.
But by all accounts, when you assisted and trained the Strokestown team, you've been successful.
Well, I wouldn't say that I've been successful. John McGowan has all the work done over the last year and a half. I think that this Strokestown team didn't come good in the last 3 or 4 weeks. That any work that has been done with them has been noted, and John McGowan really has done a lot of work, because anybody around the county, and even in Strokestown, will tell you that Strokestown were probably the poorest team for discipline, and given out to referees and given out to themselves. And over the last 3 or 4 or 5 games, they haven't had any of that. I mean, there was no player booked in the last couple of games that I remember. And John McGowan has a lot of work done with them. He has them playing a far better brand of football. The only thing I done was I ran them that bit harder.
Well, it seemed to work, because they were full of running in the second half, particularly today, when they needed to.
They were fit enough. They were always going to be fit enough after. I think after the Shannon Gaels match, we got into a little bit more extra work, and we done a couple of days in the week, a little bit more. But I think that the difference was in Strokestown, and Strokestown will back me up on this, that when you have 26 training, it's easy for a team to win.
Right. Okay, Gay. Well done. Great effort, and it was successful. So we'll see you back in Strokestown for a few pints.
Possibly. Thanks very much.
Danny Burke, associated for years and years with Castlereagh. What did you think of the county final?
Well, first of all, I would like to congratulate Strokestown on winning. I think it was one of the best games of football I've seen for a long number of years. And indeed, Strokestown deserve great credit for coming back, despite the fact that they went into a 4-point lead, let Roscommon Gaels back to 4-3. They still came back and they led 8, I think it was 9-4 at half time. And deserve great credit. It was a very worthwhile performance by both teams, good performance by both teams, but certainly it was a team effort on Strokestown's part. I think even the old man, as I think the captain said himself, Jerry Hagan, came in and played his part as well.
Did you think that Strokestown had let it slip in the drawing game?
Well, you never know when a drawing game. So you say you get one bite at the cherry, but they got 2 bites. Yes, they had the chances to win the last day, there's no doubt about that. I mean, Roscommon Gaels got off to a great start the last day, and 2 weeks ago, 1-5 to no score, and fair dues to Strokestown. They kept plugging back, and I thought a draw was a fair result for both teams the last day, which was proven here today, because certainly the spectators who came here the last day were delighted to come back again today to see such an excellent game of football produced by both teams.
And is there any truth in the rumour, Danny, that you'll be passing through Strokestown this evening on the way home, and you might participate in the celebrations?
Well, that could be true, all right, because I might be having a drop of lemonade on the way. I believe, Pat, you owe me one, so I'd be looking forward to getting it.
Thanks very much, Danny. Well done. Right, Tom Cadai, County Board Chairman. What's your impressions of the game now?
Well, obviously I'm delighted for Strokestown. It's been a long wait, 59 years, and they were fully deserving of their win today. There's no doubt about that. Well merited.
You said that you had a slight fancy for Strokestown in the drawn game. Was your views realised?
They were, yeah, they were. I always had the feeling that the ability was in the Strokestown team. It was just a question of whether they could bring it out on the day, and they certainly did that. In fact, Strokestown timed their year very well. They played poorly enough early in the year, and in fact lost one game along the way. But they certainly timed it well, and they came good on the big day when it counted. It was a very impressive performance, there's no doubt about that. Very impressive.
Does this mean a change in the power structure at senior level to the north?
Well, I'd say that clubs like Strokestown have brought their standard up. There are people who are claiming that the standard has gone down because Clonagale are gone. But I think that Strokestown have brought their standard up. They brought in people like John McGowan and Gael Sheeran to help them with their preparation. As Damien said, or was it Owen that said it in the speeches there, they have self-belief now, which they didn't have before. And those factors were important. But I think Strokestown's standard has come up. Certainly that was a very impressive team performance. The teamwork was excellent. The running football that they played was a joy to watch. There's no doubt about that. Very enjoyable.
And do you think that at the start of the year, did you feel honestly that the Clonagale dominance was going to end this year, and that some team like Strokestown were going to emerge?
I thought that Clonagale would still be there or thereabouts. I felt that Strokestown were the only team capable of beating them, to be quite honest with you. And I think that on that performance today, that Strokestown would have beaten Clonagale in the final today. I genuinely believe that. Clonagale, you may say that Clonagale were on the wane, but the Strokestown performance was exceptional today, and I think that I've beaten any team in the county today on that form.
And a good gate today?
I haven't been speaking to the treasurer now, but I think it was around the same as the last day, something around the 3,000 people attended, so it's very satisfactory, and the surroundings here are excellent. Finn Club deserves great credit. But as I said to them when I was making the presentation, I hope they have a dignified and a safe celebration, because we've seen fellas crashing cars and things after, and I meant that it's important that everybody minds themselves and takes it easy.
Well, I doubt you'll be passing through Strokestown yourself at some stage of the evening. You might to oversee the celebrations.
We'll have a pit stop there, as Joe McAvoy says, somewhere along the way, certainly.
Right, Tom, thanks very much.
Thanks, Pat.
After the drawn game, and you were quite happy with the way the game went and enjoyed the football, what's your impressions of the replay?
Well, I enjoyed the replay just as much, if not more, than the drawn game. It was an excellent game of football, a great contest. Even though Strokestown won in the end by 7 points, I think that Roscommon Gaels, full credit to them, fought to the bitter end, tried everything. We're unlucky not to have a goal scored, maybe a second one, pass or two went astray, but it was a marvellous game of football, and I think augurs well for football from Roscommon.
Right. What do you think happened to Gaels? They weren't as dominant as they were in the drawn game.
No, they weren't, and of course they didn't get the start. I think on this occasion Strokestown got the start, had 3 or 4 points on the board before Roscommon Gaels started to score. Never led after that, and I would say that as the game went on, Strokestown grew in confidence and felt that they could win the county title, which probably they hadn't in their heads the last day, as they had to come back from an 8-point deficit for after 10 minutes.
Right. What was the major difference between the teams? What won it for Strokestown?
I think in the end Strokestown had better players around the park. I think that they played more as a team, and that when the ball fell between any two sets of players, a Strokestown player was probably more capable of winning a clean ball and a 50-50 chance. So I think that was the single factor. I think Strokestown also had the man of the match in Donlan at centre half back. I thought that Leo Shields played great in the full back line, and then you had Michael Donlan playing a great link role between the backs, midfield and the forwards. I think he contributed an awful lot. So overall I think Strokestown had better players around the park on the day.
Right. Can I ask you honestly, at the start of the season, did you see Clonagale's dominance being finished and a team like Strokestown win the county championship?
Well, I suppose I hadn't thought about it like that, but I did remember last year after the county final that Strokestown had been in it for a long period of time and then went and lost it by, was it more than 5 points? But at any team that's worth its salt will learn from an occasion like that, and I felt that, well, if Clon were to be beaten, Strokestown might do it this year. Coming through and maybe meeting them in the final again. But as it turned out, Clon didn't make it to the final, and I felt all the time then that the experience of playing in the county final last year would be to Strokestown's advantage, and I think that paid off in the end.
Right. And are there some additional players which you have in mind now for your panel as a result of the replay?
Well, as I was using the replay and the intermediate final to look at a number of options, to increase the options rather that I had. I was impressed by what I saw today. I think there were quite a number of players that are at county standard and could represent Roscommon. I have picked a panel of 29. I want to add a goalkeeper, and I have 5 or 6 more players in mind, some of which played today, so I look forward to working with them.
Right. Okay, well, the best of luck, Dermot, and thanks very much for speaking to us.
Thank you. Thank you.
This is awful. Wouldn't mind if you're on the winning team.
You no problem. Benji, Roscommon Gaels full forward, are you disappointed?
Very much so, yeah, definitely. Better team won on day though, better team.
You put an enormous effort in. Is it a fierce disappointment now to walk away from Milfin without the cup?
Especially after letting the big lead go the last day, I thought if we get our game together today, but you're far more committed than we were. Like maybe your loss last year, we have to experience it as well, but your loss the last year must have brought you on a lot, because the commitment you showed today was far superior to what we showed. And you're hungrier for the ball, you're moving better for the ball, and you play good football. We made it hard for ourselves and we got all caught up.
Did you ever at any stage, when you pulled Strokestown back to 2 points in the 10 minutes after the break, that you might have been...
Ross was very unlucky. I reckon if he got that going now, he might have made it. And Aidan hit a bad, well, not say bad wide, but he took his chance. He was unlucky. You know, a few inches either side of both posts, and we could have had 2 goals. It would have made a big difference.
Right.
I think Ross's goal, though, if we got that, it would have made a huge difference to it. It would have been far tighter at the end.
Okay. So you can go back anyway after 2 games. He played well, played a good sporting game. You can go back with your heads held high.
Enjoyable. It's nice to see a new name in the cup. You know.
Okay, well, the Gaels aren't. The Gaels aren't finished though.
Oh no, definitely.
Okay, Benji, thanks very much for talking to us. Thanks. Right, Donald Hanley, before I speak to you, I want to say to you that we were speaking earlier to Dermot Earley, and he said that he wanted to add a goalkeeper to his panel.
Right.
I just submitted your name.
Well, if he comes up with the right fees, there's no problem at all.
Donald, I am mightily relieved.
Unbelievable. Can't believe it.
What's it like to win a county final?
Oh, I don't know. I don't believe it. It's great, great.
What was the difference between you today? In the drawn game, the teams were very close. What was the difference?
We wanted to win it today. We should have won it the last time. I think we realised that, and we've done the business today.
Right. And is this...
It's only the tip of the iceberg, Pat.
Tip of the iceberg. You're now going to Leitrim, I understand.
Yeah, Leitrim, yes indeed. And then we're going to Crow Park, 17th of March.
Well, you weren't called on to make the type of saves that you were called on to make in the drawn game. Obviously, you were happy with the way the defence played.
They were brilliant. Leo Shield was unbelievable. He got a cut on his head and he fought through, and Owen Donlan was brilliant. Every one of the backs, Tom Cox, Richard Glover when he came on, every one of them. Unbelievable. All fought very hard.
Well done, Donald. Well, congratulations. And after 59 years, you're bringing the cup back to Strokestown. And
do you remember the last time it was brought back?
I don't actually, but well, I was actually on minor that year, you know, and they felt I wasn't strong enough for the senior team, you know. And in fact, I'm still not strong enough for the senior team, but I'm working on it.
You're working on it.
Well done, Donald.
Better game, but Strokestown had it from start to finish this time. Do you know?
Right. You were part of the team 59 years ago that brought the championship to Strokestown. Are you a happy man to see you coming back?
I am very happy.
And what do you think in comparison to today's team and your team? Is today's team as good?
Well, they were not as good. Because there was, and it was rougher that time. The 2 Shublins was playing, Father Cunniff, Father Quigley, Luke Dolan, Luke Hygo, Jack Duffy, and Coffey, Jack Higgins. And it was...
They're tough men.
Oh, yeah.
Do you still have your county medal?
Well, I'll tell you, I lost one, and a brother of mine was coming on a good footballer, and he played here, and he scored 3 points. Strokestown left him out as a sub, do you know? He scored 3 points from centre field.
Right.
And Willie Brannan was the captain. You know, he was a countryman.
Right.
And he brought the 2 medals down to the North Army.
Right.
And he used to get bets.
Right.
And he passed for 200 the time Roscommon won, above Roscommon.
Right.
and they said he wasn't a footballer, but he has the 2 medals.
All right, so they're still in existence. Well done anyway. 59 years later, you're back to see Roscommon or Strokestown win a county championship, so you're a happy man. Well, we'll see you back in Strokestown for a drink later. Thanks very much, Mick. All right, thanks. Right, Damien Donlan, captain of the Strokestown team. You're beside a man who played 59 years ago and won a county championship with Strokestown. How do you feel?
I feel tired, but he's fit. I feel absolutely delighted now. Take a while for this to sink in. We've worked so hard over a number of years for this. It's finally come good for us. Thank God.
Did you honestly think after the drawing game that you could make it?
Yeah, we knew the way we came back in the drawing game when we started playing football that we were that bit better. There was great confidence with us this year and a great team spirit there, and it showed in the end. I think we relaxed our game today. We weren't as tensed up. We played football from the start, and it showed and came out on top.
What do you think was the main feature of your game as distinct from Roscommon Gaels? What made you a better team today than the last day?
Well, both teams are equally fit, and both teams had worked hard all summer, but I think in the end it was we wanted to win that bit more, and it showed in the determination of everybody to get back and harry for balls. And I saw Marcus at one stage came from corner back and he tackled back up, or from corner forward and tackled up this end. That just showed what type of spirit was in the team, that we weren't going to go down. This was our year and we were going to make sure of it, you know.
Given the loss of Ronan McPhillips and Tom Cox, but Ronan McPhillips early, that surely was a big loss to you.
It did, but Martin came out. Martin played his part. He had a great game today. You know, he worked the whole hour. It just shows the lads who came in did their job. We strengthened our squad in last year. We brought in a number of young players who have done fierce well all year. And Richard Glover came into the side. We had lads on the sideline who still could have come in and done the job for us. It's obviously worrying when you lose one of your top players, but I mean, you have to get over that.
Right. There's a terrible smell coming out of that cup. I'll have to leave you, Damien. I'll see you back in Strokestown. Well done. Congratulations. Damien. Oh yeah, sorry, you're Damien, smaller lad. Sorry. Damien, why did you win the county final and you weren't able to win it the last fortnight ago? What was the difference today?
Well, the difference today, we were determined to win it. We were committed. We were training hard all year. Myself and the boys were together since under 12, starting since under 12, and wanted to win a county final. We wanted to do it today, and we done it. And we went out on the field today for the first full 60 minutes, and we done it. We gave it 110%, and it was worth it in the end. We done it. We have the cup.
Leo, you're showing the stars of battle. You had a massive game. How do you feel now?
Great. On top of the world.
We spoke to your father earlier on, and he's very happy with your performance. Yeah, he hasn't seen your eye yet.
He has.
Oh, has he?
He's very proud of me.
Were you happy with your game?
I was. One of my better games now. Thanks be to God. I still won though.
Right. Well, if it's any help to you, Dermot Early thought that you played well.
That's good.
Yeah. So I said for a small fee that I could mention you again to him, you know. Okay. Well done, Leo. You have to. Yeah. Okay. We'll throw something, some drop of something into that eye later on. Okay. Can we talk to Tom Cox? Tom, think you'd win a senior county championship?
I did. To be honest with you, 3 or 4 years ago, I could see the potential in the Strokestown team, and I always believed that there was the nucleus was there to win a county championship, and today has fulfilled that dream.
Well done, Tom. Well done.
But I have a dig to get in here now. First of all,
Fozzie and Ronan McPhillips. Right, you first. Yeah, you're the biggest.
You're wondering who's doing the video, but I have to get a dig at. It's Tom Corcoran, you see. He couldn't get anyone to do it, so he had to do it himself. That's why he wasn't playing.
Right, okay.
I just got that in.
Right. Fair enough. Now, what's your next news? Why weren't you playing?
Seriously. It was a great game. Delighted to win.
Can you speak any? You know any of the bars out of power?
The dream come true.
Right, Ronan, you were massive game in the drawn match. You had to come off with injury today. How do you feel now?
Well, I'm delighted actually. It's the best team I've ever been part of, and I'm absolutely delighted. I thought it would never happen. We had our chances the last day, and I think we were hungrier and better prepared today, and we did the business. And we'll do it again.
And it's true that you'll probably be having a drama something in town tonight.
Oh no,
well, will you be buying?
I'll consider it.
Okay, thanks very much.
I'd just like to add. We're county champions in Roscommon. Gael have tried to win the All-Ireland Championship. Hopefully we'll come out of Connacht and maybe go on and do what Gael didn't do, and that's win the All-Ireland Club Championship.
Well done, Tom.
Thanks very much.
Okay, thanks. Okay, that's it from an almost deserted Elphin at this stage. We're now going back to Strokestown to pursue some leisure activities such as drinking porter, and just to remind you again that Strokestown have won the 1992 County Championship after a replay, and the Meet will in a fortnight's time in the Connacht semi-final. Tommy McAvoy, you played for Kilmore for years, you've been supporting teams in the north for years. What do you think of today's game?
Well, it was an outstanding game as regards Strokestown was concerned. And even when Roscommon Gaels came within few points of Strokestown, they still controlled the game. And I think they controlled it from the very throw in. And every one of the Strokestown lads played very well. Can they hear me?
Yeah. No, it's on the video anyway, so there's no problem. Just for the video.
Well, I'd like to do a bit of rehearsal. Right. And it's 59 years ago since Strokestown won a county title. And in goal that day was McDonough. His father was an engineer here. And the full back line was Christy Mack, Tom Shovlin and Brian Hayden. And the half back line was Luke Dolan. His grandson was playing today. And the centre half back was Mick Cairns. And the right half back was Jimmy Dwyer. And the two centre fields was Mick Feeney and the brother John Feeney, a priest. He was priest. And the forward line was Peter Shovlin was full forward. He was the brother of Tom's. And Jack Higgins, the father that lived up Church Street here, and Hughie Gibbons, and Mickey Burton, not Mickey Burton, Jimmy Burton, and probably Jerry. And I think I might forget now one or two of the other forwards, but that generally is the team that won in 1959.
Right. We spoke to Mick Cairns earlier today after the match, and he said that he had waited 59 years, and I asked him if he still had his medals, and he says the two medals that he had, himself and his brother, they're now in the north, that his brother went to the north after the game and brought the medals with him, but the medals are still in existence.
Oh, that's his brother Paddy.
Yeah.
Paddy Cairns, yeah.
Right.
Paddy wasn't on that team now in 59, he'd be a reserve. Mick's brother.
Right.
He wasn't on that team, but he'd be a sub, like.
Right.
So I'm glad to see the title coming back to Strokestown. Like other years, we went up to Hyde Park, and before we went up there, we knew who was going to win. Right. But it's so different now. And there was a great atmosphere at the draw game, and there was a great atmosphere today. And I'm delighted to see the county title back in the north.
The last county championship came to Kilmore, and your son Joe was playing. What's the comparison? What's it like for your club to win a county championship?
Oh, it's a wonderful thing to win the county championship. We won it in '83, and it gave me a special boost because Joe scored the winning goal.
As he reminds us several times since.
Well, not a lot. No.
I spoke to you here in this pub about a week ago, and I asked you what did you think about the replay, and you felt confident Strokestown would do it. Did you think they'd win by so many points as they did?
Well, I didn't really think that wouldn't be by such a margin today. But like as I already said, they controlled the game. Therefore, they were entitled to win by what they did, and they could have won by more.
Right. Okay, Tommy, thanks very much, and it's great that you enjoyed the game and that you're out and about to see it, and that the cup has come back to the north, and you're still in the junior, so you'll be in there shouting for a while yet.
Oh, certainly, and I hope it'd be great if we could win the junior now and have the two titles in the north.
Well done, Tommy, thanks very much.
Thanks yourself.
What do you think?
I think they're mighty. They're great. Out on their own.
Did you think they'd win it?
Oh, I did. No doubt about it.
Well, is it true what you said in Cloncat that you thought Strokestown were no good after the drawn game?
Well, you know, the way they were playing, like, and if they didn't get their game together, surely they were going to lose.
What won it for Strokestown?
Well, the way they combined together. Now, the big improvement in Leo Shield for once. And they went off, like Tom Corcoran had a great game. Owen Dunn, you know. You take them all, and to see the way John Towie played today, and the abuse he got, it was, they deserve to win. And they get the whole lot combined. When you look at Hagen, probably don't want to come on. Did you see that? One day credit to us.
It'd be an old grey-haired fox like yourself.
An old grey-haired fox, the old man Hagen. Oh, Lord God. One day great. One day. He put it over the bar. He didn't panic.
Is this the best Strokestown team you've seen in years?
Yes, definitely yes. Oh, without a doubt.
And is it true that you'll be having a pint in town and on the way out to Frank's you might have a late one tonight?
A late one tonight, if I get home at all tonight, you go away with that thing now. One out.
Good man, Tim, and thanks very much for getting the Garda station in Castlebar fixed up for Jim Connor.
I know. Well, Jim wanted to finish. So we're all. When you go away now, for fuck's sake,
Noreen, we don't have your husband at the moment. Can you confirm if you have an extension or not? Noreen, seriously now, for a local girl, have you made good in town? Seriously, what's the story about pints later on? Dear me. Is it true that you have no extension at all, that this is illegal? Dear me. Austin, what did you think of them?
I thought they were very good, and I thought the decision of bringing on Jerry Hagen in the last 15 minutes was a great decision, because he really showed his years and his strength as a footballer. He's very good, and I think he was worth the goal and 2 points to them in the end.
You saw the drawing game. Do you think Strokestown will win it in the end?
In the drawing game, I thought Strokestown should have won it. They got off an awful bad start. I think they were a bit nervous at the beginning, but I think afterwards, it was very disappointing that they didn't win it. But I'm glad they won it today. It was great to win a replay. It's better to win a replay really than to win in the first game.
Does this do a lot for football in the north?
I think it does an awful lot for football around the likes of our own club, St. Barry's and Kilmore and Tulsk, and I think that should all take example of Strokestown's win today, because I think there's nothing between the 5 or 6 clubs that neighbour Strokestown, and I think each of the clubs will be they'll take an awful lot of spirit from it next year in the next 2 years championship, and I think it's one of the best things that ever happened in Roscommon football. Because Roscommon probably is one of the biggest counties in the west of Ireland. They're as good a county as Donegal if they wanted to be in that grade. But I think Strokestown's victory today will do an awful lot for football in Roscommon.
And will we have to keep in Strokestown, will we have to keep an eye out for Kilglass Gaels?
I hope so, but I hope you don't keep an eye out for me as the referee anyway. But I hope that in about 3 or 4 years' time, the Kilglass Gaels could give Strokestown some opposition, and maybe we'd steal the show from them then.
Right, and thanks very much, Johnny, for bringing all your fans and yourself to come along to support Strokestown tonight. So thanks very much, Johnny, and well done. From Shannon Gaels, Strokestown beat you narrowly in the championship. Did you think Strokestown would win the county final?
Well, on the basis of the performance against Shannon Gaels, which I thought they were quite lucky to win, I had my doubts, but fair play to them, they won anyway. And I have to give them a hearty congratulations.
Did you think, you saw you've been to loads of matches and you've seen the drawn match, did you think Strokestown could win the replay?
I was fairly sure they would win the replay, because I had the experience of the last couple of years, and that won through for them in the finish.
Did you see a county championship in Strokestown the day they played Shannon Gaels?
Well, to be quite honest with you, Pat, I didn't. I didn't, but having said that, even if Roscommon Gaels, or even if Shannon Gaels had won that day, they hadn't experience either, and it would have been hard to have seen them winning it either. You know.
Right. At the start of this year, did anybody see, or did you see, a team other than Clonagale win the county championship?
I did, Strokestown.
Had you a few bob on them?
That'd be telling you, wouldn't it?
After the drawing game, did you see them, given the fact that Roscommon Gaels had a big lead and let it drift and still ended up drawing the match, did you think that Strokestown were going to win it?
I did. I did, because we'd say they had chances in the last 5 minutes of the match. And they had to be the favourites for today. That was worth 2 or 3 points to them anyway, we'd say.
And has Shannon Gaels to watch out for something now, or have we to watch out for something in Shannon Gaels next year? Are you telling us?
Well, let's put it this way: Shannon Gaels have to watch out, but every other team in the county will have to watch out as well. We will be a year older.
And Larry, what do you reckon? Will Strokestown do well in the All Ireland Club Championship?
Well, I'd put it this way: once they beat Ahowillan, once they beat the Leitrim people anyway, I don't mind after that where they go.
Well done, Larry. Thanks very much. Right, centre of the field, waiting for a ball. He seems to have slowed up quite a bit, but no, he's stopped altogether. Eamon Bulger, Fáile's player, Fáile's mentor, Fáile's official for years and years. Did you enjoy the county final?
I did indeed, Pat. I thought it was one of the best games, best county finals for years. I thought it was a terrific game of football. And fair play to Strokestown. I think there's no question that the better team on the day won. They really they had a good start. They went 3 or 4 points up, and they maintained that right throughout the game. And they were much the better team, I thought, and a fully deserved victory. I thought they were a little bit unlucky last fortnight ago that they didn't win first time out, but certainly a great win for them and well deserved.
In honesty, did you tip Strokestown to win after their performance in the drawing game?
No, to be honest, Pat, I was a couple of people, as you probably know, have a little flutter on our time on a nag or a football match, but a couple of people were looking for bets on both sides, on Strokestown and the Gaels, and I didn't bet at all because I honestly reckon it was a 50-50 game. Because both teams are capable of playing very, very well, and I wouldn't say that consistency is the strongest point of either team, so it really depended on who hit form on the day, and there's no doubt that on today's performance Strokestown looked a much better team, but beforehand, no, I thought it was a 50-50 game.
And just going back historically as well to the start of the year, did you think at the start of the year that a team like Strokestown would win the county championship?
I suppose, to be honest, you would doubt it, because Clonagale were always the number ones, and up to the start of the year they had won 7 championships, 7 or 8 in a row, and they would be odds-on favourites. And any team that was going to beat Clan, you would imagine, would win the county final. But everybody knows that, for a number of years, Strokestown do have a lot of very talented individuals, and it was a matter of getting them to play together as a team. And fair play to the present management set up that they've really played as a team today, and that's what won the game for them. But Strokestown, they have had very good players down through the years, and it was just a matter of them getting their act together, and fair play to them, they've done it this year.
You've had your success last Sunday and you're back in senior football. Is Fáile's a threat to Strokestown supremacy now?
I'd hope so, to be honest. That remains to be seen. I think that Fáile's have a lot of good young players coming up, and a few players who have been there a few years have still a lot to contribute. And I'm sure we'll have a few very interesting tussles with Strokestown next year.
Right, Eamon, thanks very much.
Thank you.
Eamon Gibbons, not the youngest of our supporters today, but maybe one of the youngest. Did you enjoy the game?
Yeah.
What did you think was the best part of it?
Second half.
Why?
Because they scored more. I don't know.
Did you at any stage think Strokestown was going to lose it?
No.
Even during the drawn game when they didn't do so well in the first half?
I thought they were going to lose the drawing game.
But you were confident about today?
Yeah.
And is this what you want to do when you get bigger? You want to play for Strokestown?
Yeah.
Is that the example now the lads have shown you?
Yes.
And do you reckon that Strokestown can go all the way to win the club championship?
Yeah.
The last time Strokestown won a county championship was 59 years ago. Now, I don't expect you to remember that, but do you feel that you were at a historic occasion today?
Yes.
And final question, did your father enjoy the game?
I don't know.
He doesn't look like he enjoyed the game.
It does.
He looks a bit tense.
Yeah.
Does he always look like that?
No.
Or is that just he's only tense because he's used to driving the tractor out to Cloncar Road?
Yeah.
Okay, Eamon, thanks very much.
All right.
This is probably your first county final in Roscommon. What do you think of it?
It was a very good match.
Did you, the fact that you're living in Strokestown now, did that add to it?
Well, not really, no. Still support the team very well.
Were you at the drawn match?
I wasn't at the drawn match, no.
You weren't? And did you think from the reports that you heard of it that Strokestown were going to win it?
I knew they were going to win it, yeah.
What made you so confident?
Well, they played very well the last day in the second half.
It wasn't the fact that some of them might have bought a couple of tractors or anything from you, no?
That would help as well. So it would.
Given the fact that the county title has come back to Strokestown after 59 years, does that give you a special occasion for yourself and the missus to have a few pints tonight?
Oh, definitely. Definitely was.
And you probably won't be going home at 22.
I said it'd be 20 past, didn't I, at least?
Pat, thanks very much and enjoy the rest of the night. Okay. And how do you feel now?
Oh, marvellous. Great feeling. Devon to win the county final.
You brought them to the county final last year and you brought them to a draw 2 weeks ago. Did you really feel the Strokestown was going to win it?
I did, yeah. I did. They're a great character in this team. And 3 weeks ago, we played Shannon Gaels and they penned us down for a long time. And we fought back and we had great character. And also in the drawing game, when we were 8 points down, I knew when we came back that we would win the county final.
Given the effort that you put in, what's it like to manage a county final winning team?
Well, that's great, but it's hard work. It's very hard work. And number one is getting discipline in your players. And that's what we got. You know, for the first time I met the boys, I asked them that number one was to have discipline and respect for each other on the field, and that's what they had, and I think that's what carried them through today.
At the start of the year, John, Clan were still the county champions. Did you really believe that you could take the county title?
I did, yeah, because it's a year late. I think we should have taken it last year, but we hadn't the experience probably last year. We were a better team than Clan last year, and it was just we couldn't score. So I think we could have won it last year, but what's another year?
You've had a busy year. You're looking after Barry's, you're looking after Strokestown, and now you're a county selector. How much time does that take out of your life?
Well, you want to ask my wife that. A lot of time.
Is it time you enjoy?
I enjoy every minute of it. I enjoy it, and I have to say that the bunch of lads in Strokestown have been exceptional.
Did you think, really, I mean, given our performance in the drawn game and the fact that Strokestown got off to a very bad start, and OK, the hauled Roscommon Gaels back. Now, I know you said you were confident, but managers say that. But did you really believe Strokestown could win the replay as easily as they did?
I would have been happy with a point or two, but knowing that we weren't going to give them the same start as they got the last day, and the way we played when we started to play. And I think our biggest problem was that we didn't get a score early on. We should have got a couple of scores early on, and we didn't. I think it's vital to kick a ball over the bar if you get in near the goals. Maybe there's a goal on, but I think you should take the score. It helps the team to settle down much quicker.
Midway through not midway, but about 10 minutes after the second half started, Strokestown were pulled back to 2 points lead. At that stage, what did you think? I saw you up and down the sideline urging the team. We got cut off about the fact that the loss of Ronan McPhillips was a certain drawback to the team. After Ronan went off, what motivated the team? What brought them together? What kind of instructions did you give them?
Well, Ronan was a very big loss. He was. We had a fitness test on Ronan last night, and I was a bit worried about him, even though the lad said himself he was okay. And as you know, he's one of our best players. There's no doubt about that, and has been all down through the year. And when he went off, I was a bit worried at that stage because he's a great rallying force, and he had been in the drawing game. But the lads knuckled down to it, and the subs we put in, there was no doubt about it. They played a big part in the game.
One of the subs was Jerry Hagan. He's 37. He's around a long time. He's slowed down a fair bit. He had an influence on the game.
Definitely. When I came in 2 years ago, I said, we met in the Percy French below, and I said, no player was too old or too young for me. A fella that's committed enough to do a job, and Jerry always did that. He went out and he trained hard. He was part of the panel, and today our full forward line was lying out a little bit too far, and I thought that Jerry would be the man that would stick around the square and that a ball would come in and he'd put it away for us. And he did that. He was cute, and fair play to Jerry. I'm delighted he was part of the scene.
You were a few points ahead at half-time. What did you say to the team? What needed to be said to the team at half-time?
Our biggest worry in the dressing room was Ronan McPhillips, undoubtedly. I knew he was struggling before half-time. We had moved him in the corner forward. I went to Ronan in the dressing room and I said, "How are you?" And he said, "Well, give me another few minutes." And I couldn't take Ronan out of the game because Ronan is such a committed fella. And he said, I wanted to move in full forward. I thought he might win ball and he says, "No, leave me a corner forward." And I did that. And we talked to the players. They were playing well. There was no giving out or anything. We hadn't to do that because all the fellas were committed and they were doing the job we had asked them to do, going out. And no, I think the lads performed brilliantly in the second half when they went out, as the same as they did in the first half.
You won a junior championship in 1961 with Strokestown, despite the fact that you look younger than most of the senior team now. What's it like to come back to Strokestown with bonfires blazing?
Oh, it's marvellous, marvellous. I was just talking to the county secretary this evening, and he said it's marvellous to come back into a town like Strokestown and see these celebrations. You know, that is good. It can only be good for Roscommon football.
What kind of bonfires were when you won the junior championship in 61? I remember them, but you'll have to describe them.
Oh, they were the same. You know, I mean, winning any championship is a marvellous occasion. And I'm involved with a junior club myself, you know, and one ambition was to win a junior title for our own local club too. And it's a marvellous occasion to win any title. But I think a senior title for any club is I think it's next to an All-Ireland final.
Well, the last team that won a championship in the north was Kilmore. What does this do for football in the north, which has been so long dominated by the likes of Gaels?
It can do nothing only good for it, because I think there's quite a number of teams around in the north, and I'd say it will be tough in the north next year, because you have Michael Glavies, you have Castlereagh, a very good young side coming up, Elphin, Kilmore. Any of those teams are quite capable of giving us a hard time next year. So we have to be very wary next year, going into next year's championship. Any of those teams are quite capable of winning the championship.
Well, I sat at a meeting 2 years ago in which you came into the club, and all you asked for, as you said earlier, was discipline and commitment. How much of that has been delivered, and how much is yet to be delivered in the All-Ireland Club Championship?
I think number one is discipline, and I asked for that when I came in, and we got it. I got it. There was a few times that we had hiccups along the way, and I said I wouldn't tolerate it if I wasn't getting discipline, and our fellas, and it showed very much in the drawing game, the discipline, because when we were 8 points down, our fellas weren't shouting, they weren't going around belting fellas, they just knuckled down to the job they had to do, and it paid off for them today.
Given the amount of time and effort you've put into it, what degree of satisfaction this gives you?
Oh, it's marvellous. I mean, if you're involved in football the way I am, you know, I love the game, and that's take for instance yesterday. I went yesterday morning to Roscommon to a county trial, and I came back and I collected fellas for an under-16 match in Tarmanbarry, and after that I left. I went into Strokestown where we had training, and when we were finished there I went back. We had an under-21 challenge against Follies. So that's the type of commitment I have, and I love the game and I love the fellas that play it.
Well, given that type of commitment, that kind of effort, all I have to do left is to congratulate you, John, for the effort you put in and the fact that you were successful. You had a vision of Strokestown football when you took it on, which most of us didn't have, and it was delivered on, and probably very few had the faith that you had at the time, and you have realised it now.
That's right. You know, and there's a lot of people that has to be thanked for that. Like, there's people that brought them up through the underage, like, I mean, David McHugh, Remy Burke, who has been a mainstay of football here in the town. There's no doubt when things were going bad, and it's very easy to be a great committed fellow when things are going well. But the like of Remy Burke and those fellas have to take great credit for what has happened tonight. And I would also like to mention Martin Silk, because Martin did an awful lot of work with this team. And he had built them into a good side, like, you know, they had got to a county final. Okay, maybe they were a bit young at the time and they didn't win it. But I think we should thank Martin Silk tonight, because he put in many a good year with them there, and he worked hard with them, and he had helped in a long way in bringing this successful night here tonight.
John, congratulations and thanks very much. The Strokestown Club, this is a proud day for you.
The best day of my life. The very best day of my life.
You're a Sligo native. Did you ever think when you came to Strokestown that the team that you're a part of and that you're president of would win a county championship?
For years I hoped, but in the past few years I thought we had let it slip. But today was the day.
When you went to the drawn game and Strokestown got off to a very bad start, and Strokestown eventually equalled, and there was another game in it, did you think that, were you confident that Strokestown would win the replay?
I was quite confident they'd win the replay. I knew they had the ability to win it. They had the players, they had everything. It was just on the day could they produce it, and they certainly did today. To a man, they played their hearts out for Strokestown, and the result was correct.
In your opinion, Donald, what was the essential difference between the two teams today? They were very level the last day. What was the essential difference between them today?
I would say fitness. In the last 20 minutes, it was Strokestown all the way. Sheer determination and fitness. I think that's what they achieved their win on.
And did you think, in all honesty, when the year started and you looked at the teams in the championship, did you really think that a team other than Gael would win the championship?
No, not really. And unfortunately, I missed the Shannon Gael match, and I believe Strokestown played very, very poorly. But I didn't see it, but I started to gain confidence in the Northern final. They really put it together then, and I knew that they were going to do something.
Right. Of all the teams that you knew and seen in the championship, though, did you really think that Strokestown would actually win it?
After Shannon Gaels, I knew they'd win it once they beat Elphin. Elphin was the team that I was most afraid of.
Right. That was a fine performance against Elphin. They didn't reproduce it in the drawn game, but obviously it came out today. Did you always think that that was there?
I did. I thought that in the end they would do it. Always I had that down deep, that they were going to do it in the end.
Strokestown now play Ahawillan in the Connacht Club semi-final. You're familiar with football all over the province. How do you think they'll do?
I think they're quite capable of beating Clonmel or Ahawillan. No problem at all, provided they stick to their guns and they do what they've done today. I don't think they should have any problem with Ahawillan. And for that matter, they should give a very good account of themselves in the rest of the Connacht Championship. Very good.
What has changed? The circumstances of Strokestown football, in '88 they reached the county final, and Martin Silk was looking after the scene at that stage, and he got them to a county final. They seem to go back after that, and what has changed Strokestown football? Why have they won a county final, in your opinion?
I think it's sheer dedication. They knew they had the players capable of winning it, and they should have possibly won one twice before anyway. At least this past 4 years they should have won 2 more. But they just weren't putting it together. The dedication wasn't there. But that seems to have slipped now, and they have got the grip of themselves, and I think they can be a championship team for the next 2 or 3 years without any problem, and especially with the young players that have coming on. The young fellas today played extremely well. Right. For young lads, right, yeah. And I don't see any reason why they can't keep it up.
Yeah. It's a proud day for you as president of the club, Donald.
Well, the happiest day of my life. I was really proud of them. I was really proud of them today, and it's the happiest day, and I am delighted to be president in this year of '92, because many better presidents than I, or better presidents of Strokestown GA, and they did not see their dreams come true as I have.
It's 59 years since Strokestown won a senior championship, and there was bonfires on the street today. How did that affect you?
Oh, thrilled. The whole town was alight. Everybody was happy, from the children up, right up. Everybody was so happy and so delighted. that I think it has done wonders for football, and it has lifted the whole town of Strokestown.
Well, congratulations, Donald, and well done, and thanks very much for talking to us. Okay. Okay, we're finished now with the interviews and with the game, so we'll see you later on. So good night, and thanks very much.